It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, welcome back aboard. A little Wet and Wild Wednesday for you here. Nice show we got planned. We are Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and the Bake Show at the controls. Boys, good to see you.
Where's the wet coming from today, big dog? It's good to see you, too. I think it's supposed to get a little sticky out there, isn't it?
Maybe more of a
the wetness you're talking about?
Wetness, yeah. Just a ride at Wet and Wild, you know?
Ride it wet and wild.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we are. We used to be a lazy river. Now we're a ride at Wet and Wild. We have Adam Schefter coming up out of the hour.
A lot going on, man. The NFL's already popping off. A lot of stuff popping off in the league. I love it. Can't wait to talk to
just
Schefter.
Tracking just historic contract after historic contract, or holdout after holdout, or hold in, right. Should I say.
Pretty well right now.
We've got a guy playing on a franchise tag down in the Queen City. We'll get to that today. We got ins and outs. We'll do a little Browns film breakdown going into camp on their big question marks with our friend Jake Burns. We will bring in the Big Don sub for 2:33, Don Waddell, off the coaching hire. But so many questions around the Jackets still, as far as what kind of team they can be early on and what kind of roster he can assemble, at least in the growth phase of Dean Evison, who we had on yesterday. And, you know, I asked him about what kind of a team he has out of the gate here. Let's all be honest. They're working off a 66-point squad here from last year. And so they're going to have to crawl before they can walk again. And we'll find out with Don Waddell what he anticipates with this hiring. So it'll be good to visit with him at 2:33.
Why don't you open the interview with, we're welcoming in the Big Don sub. Why don't you just say that and see
how he
reacts to that?
Can we play a Godfather theme? Are we allowed to do that?
I don't know. You know, YouTube will get after us.
What if we did it for about less than 10 seconds? Isn't there some cutoff? Remember when my uncle got scammed for that money? And he sent all that money, and he got a call from some prince somewhere. Remember I told that story? You were producing at the time, maybe. Bobby was probably hosting.
I was probably doing my own show like Baker was doing yesterday, where he wasn't listening to us in the first segment. That's probably why I don't remember.
That's true. Look, by the way, that look on his face.
The Jordan shrugging there, like, wait, what do you want from me?
It's hurtful. It's hurtful. I'm cutting audio. I got people talking to me.
You're a busy man. Well, tell him to get the hell out of there, would you? Say I got a job to do. Exactly.
Please, right. Why is that a little revolving door over there? Is it just a nice place to hide? Because you can hide behind the corner there? Because I can't see who's to the left of you. So unless they build a window there, I can't see if anybody's in there with you. And then from the other side, you can't see. The difference is now, whenever you talk, that YouTube camera is going to pop off, as Matty says, and then you're going to get busted. There are people that hide in that corner, in that little high stool.
Baker's just a popular guy around here. He's a nice guy. Everybody wants to come talk to him and spend some time with the Bake Show. I'm not mad at it, but I don't remember your story about your uncle getting scammed. Is that where this is going?
I think I think there's something about, I don't know if you win money at the casino and all that. If you win a certain amount, then the tax man comes for you. But is there a certain deal, Bake, where if it's under 10 grand, or if you scam somebody for there's got to be something where the feds don't get their eyes on it or something,
well, I know,
right?
like at the casino, if you win less than $650, you're good. Anything over that, they want their cut. But and there used to be something you could play 10 or 15 seconds, but YouTube's rules might be different. I don't know.
I'll take a look and see. Anyway,
play the song.
My point to the whole thing was, if we play the deal under 10 seconds, I think there'll be no ramifications.
Hey, we'll just blame you if we get.
That's fine.
We'll just put
I'm ready to retire, just like Michael Gallup at age 28.
Good for Michael Gallup. I'm ready to retire.
Yeah, I mean, Gallup is.
No, I'm talking about what you just said.
Well, Gallup.
What's that about? Was that a low? What do they call it? Freudian slip?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, maybe not tomorrow or anything, but I'm just saying. I'm a little jealous. This guy just hung it up at age 28. That's pretty cool.
You saw your boy Clay Hall hang it up. His jersey's in the rafters, and now you're trying to get your jersey up there too. Is that what just happened? Did you hear that come out? That was a bit of a slip there.
Hold on, this is the second time this morning I've heard him talk about retirement.
Oh, wow.
Just tired. I'm kidding.
I'm just tired.
Gallup played 6 seasons in the NFL, all of them with the Cowboys. He signed a 1-year, $3 million contract with the Raiders, and he was projected to be a backup. And then he just said, no, I give him a lot of credit. All I'm saying is, if somebody put $3 million in front of me to do one more season at the age of 28, I'd say, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Just doesn't have the love
Let me
anymore.
get that $3 million.
We hear from athletes all the time.
Awesome.
When you're done, you're done.
So is it because he made $30 million, or because
Sure, that doesn't hurt.
can't use another 3?
That doesn't hurt. That
On
doesn't
top of
hurt when
that?
you're looking at the bank account and you're saying, you know what? Maybe I got something on the other side I can get going. Maybe get into the podcast realm. I don't know what he's going to get into, but $30 million in the
awesome.
bank account, if he's taking care of his finances the correct way, and you go out before you're 30 years old and you got plenty of life to live on the other side, I respect it. I respect it.
The 2 to the 3 to the 4 mil, he could have done it all.
You know what you can do is listen to our show today and get a pair of tickets to the Hall of Fame game with the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. That's going on next week. So we got the game taking place at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Tickets are available at profootballhof.com/tickets. We'll give them away at 2 o'clock today. We'll do it at 2 o'clock today, and you can go kick it with AR.
That's right.
Up at the game, and he'll be looking down from his penthouse suite while you're out there in Gen Pop.
They do have some there. I just feel like I'm going to be hanging,
there we go,
down in the end zone or something.
Okay, on the field in the end zone. There we
I'm
go.
not really sure.
Even better.
Some tent somewhere.
Hey, CJ Stroud's 5 feet away from me. I'm Anthony Rothman. Here we go. AR's never sitting in Gen Pop, folks. Don't let him fool you.
Listen, I've admitted that it's worth being a seat snob at games, at concerts.
I'm not mad at it.
It's worth, if you're going, the old phrase is, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. Now, I don't deny people who just want to, quote, be in the building. Like, let's say, I don't know, how much will it cost to get into the Ohio State-Michigan game this year?
Oh, man.
Aftermarket.
The get in the door ticket, probably.
I don't know what the price is on
at
that.
least $300.
I'm going to text.
Is that a hair high?
Yeah. Text my boys at
That might
Dream
be a
Seats.
hair high, but I don't think it's going to be an easy ticket to grab, especially with where this team could be at that point, with just the amount of juice around them, and the record should be really, really good. I have to imagine that ticket's going to be fairly high.
I guess what I'm saying is an in-the-building ticket for an Ohio State-Michigan game this year, if you were buying it on the aftermarket, would be not face value to sit last row, C deck, D deck, whatever, maybe even obs view. I would say you'd probably be able to get in that game, worst seat in the house for $250.
Okay, so we're in this $250 to $300 range. We're in a similar range. No, I'm with you. I have
maybe
no
less.
idea. Let me ask you
less
this.
for the worst seat.
You mentioned a concert.
Depending on the weather.
How much would I have to pay you to get into a mosh pit right now? Like at a rock concert, dudes are down there throwing bows, we're jumping around. What does Anthony
like
Rothman
body
need?
surfing stuff?
Yeah, like what? Put you in the middle of a mosh pit at a rock concert.
Yeah.
What type of check do you need coming out of that event?
Depends what concert.
I'm saying a rock concert.
I was somewhat in a mosh pit at U2 in the Sphere.
Hardcore rock.
By the way, I thought you'd be proud of me. I was in the, quote, cheap seats. The cheap seats at the Sphere are the ones that don't have a seat. General admission on the floor.
Okay, not bad, but I'm talking about where dudes we're getting after it physically. We're not just standing there two-stepping and enjoying it.
Everybody's bouncing off each other the whole night.
What type of check you need?
Honestly, it really does depend on the concert.
I'm telling you, it's a hardcore rock concert. So the
hardcore,
the energy,
a headbanger's ball.
Yes, there we go.
I'm probably thinking, I don't know, probably $1,000.
Oh, okay. That'd be a lot higher than that. You got the bad back, you got the elbow, you got the knee. I thought you at least want to,
But if I talk to Dr. Carpenter before I go,
well,
he'll have me as loose as cream corn out there.
If you talk to Dr. Carpenter before you go in, you might be the one knocking out dudes with what he'll have you off of.
If you give me a little, honestly, it really depends on the music that I would want to withstand. Because if you're adding something that I would hate,
Screamo music,
then the price would have,
Is it Screamo? Is it Scream music? Or is it, I don't know what it's called. I don't listen to that stuff. But some hardcore rock.
A little glam metal, maybe?
I don't know what that is.
I introduced Bobby to glam metal. We can't play the songs on the air right now.
Sure we can. We'll just we'll just take it out of your bank account.
I want to see if this group is glam rock, glam metal. Glam rock would probably be the better way to go. Like Nelson, Like, I introduced Bobby to Nelson. He loves them after the rain.
See, you don't watch The Boys. I think Bobby may have some of that Compound V available at his house. You know, like what they've infused the humans with, like these freak people in The Boys. Mm-hmm. Put a little Compound V in you. You'll be ready to go in the
Feels like that's going around here at the station, too. We've had people all sickly and everything.
Well, apparently Tim Hall ate some chili dog that was upstairs.
Perfectly sane food to eat.
At the fan, I call it the mini grocery store we have upstairs.
Why does he blame it on that?
But apparently he thinks that's what put him down. He ate a chili dog. He and Tyvus ate a chili dog, I think, on the air.
Tyvus was upstairs.
Tyvus he's good.
Yeah.
You know, Tyvus is always in good spirits. So, yeah, that's the word that's been going around is that this chili dog put Timmy Hall down for a couple days.
I would need scientific proof of that.
Well, maybe his toilet can give you that proof. That's based off of what I've been hearing.
I think it's blown up, sir.
Exactly.
Where's your sergeant? Blown up, sir. So we'll talk about. By the way, I don't have an answer yet, but I will get the projection for how much a get in the building ticket is for.
So you think 250? I think 300. So
I don't think 300 for the worst seat sounds a little high.
I mean, you're not that far off from mine. You're $50.
Yeah, I'm thinking about lowering mine.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I really don't.
You brought up a good point, though. The weather may be a factor because, you know, people like me, I'm soft when it comes to cold weather. Like I'm not doing it. I don't care how good the game is. You're talking late November. It might be.
How about this?
25 degrees.
All right, let me paint you a little scenario.
Okay.
We put your Ravens in an outdoor Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
We give you the tickets.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good.
Yeah.
And we send you to the game. You pay for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But the temperature, it's a New York Super Bowl, and it's very cold, and it's below 30 degrees, but you're on the house, and it's your team in a Super Bowl.
And I'm not in the suite.
You can't tell me you're not going.
I'm not in the suite.
No, you have to sit outside.
I'm not going.
That's amazing.
Not going. I told you I'm soft. I can't handle it. I'd rather sit on my couch, eat my snacks.
Okay.
And just kick it at the crib.
There's a man of integrity. We had it all paid for. I wasn't even asking you to pay. Now, we're not paying you to go.
Yeah.
That may be the difference. Now, if we added cash equivalency to this, we paid you to go, would you go?
What's the temperature?
Under 30. All.
And I get to pick my price?
I just want to know what it would take.
Under 30 if it's like 25 degrees.
We go even low? It would make sense to make it even lower, like a wind chill type of game.
Oh, so you're saying like the Dolphins Chiefs game we just watched in the postseason last year?
Or not the Freezer Bowl where we had Lap on talking about minus 59, but somewhere in the single digits.
Probably $500K.
I thought you were going to stop at $500.
No way.
$500,000.
$500,000
to go to a Super Bowl with your own team and sit in five.
Why not? Because then if we lose the game, I get paid for losing the game as well. I'm cold and we lost.
Man,
covering up all my pain.
Okay. Now we know.
You heard Lap yesterday. He said it was freezing.
Oh, he said he's still thawing out.
Exactly.
From it. So did Fouts when we had him on.
That ain't nothing to play with.
So we're talking about Ohio State and Michigan and the whole deal. And Paul Finebaum said this is it. And I think a lot of Buckeye fans echo this. As the old song goes, this is it. Make no mistake where you are. That is Ohio State season. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
Whether it's a walk-off granny or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 and older, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $229 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our best value guarantee and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33, or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com.
Get the right car at
We're dealing.
With approved credit, 2024 Sentra SR FWD 24-month lease with $3,000 due at signing and 7/31/24.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Valley Ford of Columbus is proud to announce the grand opening of their new Commercial Truck Center. Centrally located off I-270, the new Valley Ford of Columbus Commercial Truck Center features expert sales, service, and parts for your business. Choose from over 300 commercial trucks and vans ready for delivery right now. From the area's best selection of transit vans, E-Series, Super Duty, light duty pickups, and more. It's all at Valley, including Ford E-Transit vans too. Need upfits? In-stock specialty upfits include dump and stake beds, plows, utility beds, lift gates, box and reefer bodies, and much more. The Valley Commercial Truck Team has 50-plus years of commercial sales experience and over $80 million in commercial truck inventory across all locations, with over $1 million in parts inventory at each location. I was in getting my Mustang's oil changed, and I saw some commercial trucks getting serviced at Valley Ford. They take care of you. The new Valley Ford of Columbus Commercial Truck Center on Kime Circle in Hilliard. Online at valleyfordofcolumbus.com. Oh, yeah, and if you're not looking for a commercial truck, they've got a ton of F-150s with great financing right now. valleyfordofcolumbus.com.
Remember how that little girl in Poltergeist was in the TV?
They're here.
Yeah? Well, she's actually dead now. It's quite sad. Anyway, watch your favorite fan shows on your TV by subscribing to us on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan. Do it now.
Find great prices on summer favorites this week at Meijer. Get fresh local blueberries for $1.49 and Meijer chips 3 for $5. Plus, the 7 for $7 sale is back. Mix or match hundreds of items and pay just $1 each when you pick any 7 or more. Eckrich hot dogs, Meijer ketchup, and select Coca-Cola products, plus deposit where applicable. To round out your summer cookout, shop low Meijer prices and the 7 for $7 sale this week only. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in store or in the Meijer app.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Ohio Basement Authority. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at ohiobasementauthority.com.
Hey, Ohio! Don't miss the Ohio State Fair July 24th through August 4th.
With fair favorites like the Butter Cow sculpture, livestock animals,
Endless shopping,
delicious fair food,
free live music, thrilling rides and games,
competitions, and so much more.
Enjoy all that the Ohio State Fair has to offer now through Sunday, August 4th.
Tickets on sale at the gate or at ohiostatefair.com.
At Glow Fiber Business, your business is our priority. With prepackaged and customized fully fiber optic solutions, Glow Fiber Business delivers the fast, reliable, and scalable fiber internet your business needs to grow, all backed by the superior local customer support you deserve. Glow Fiber is here, and we mean business. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com to switch today.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly cloudy today with a few afternoon showers, high 87. Cooler and less humid tomorrow with a high of 84. There is still a 20% chance of rain on your Thursday. Friday and Saturday are gorgeous with highs in the mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Thoughtfully discussing the merits of home run ins frozen pizza. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, just talked to my boys over at Dream Seats in Grandview, giving me the lowdown. And since Maddie knows I may quiz Bake on this. So you heard us in the last break saying what we predict would be the get-in price, and maybe this year, and nobody knows how the season will play out, and we don't know what the weather's going to be, but we do know the game will be here, and we know who they're playing. So if it was like a D deck, which is, below the press box and suite level there may even be a section where you have a little obstructed view a little bit, and then certainly in B, you'd have possibly a pillar. What would you think is the aftermarket get-in price? I think he said the face value on Ohio State, Michigan is somewhere around 300 plus or 350, right? Somebody said, Maddie,
yep.
Which is unbelievable. So we're already over 300 on a face value for the game. So what would be the get-in price right now if you wanted to just have a ticket, not a great seat, but you want to be in there?
I may be high on this, but I would guess $750.
Bet you would, Panama Red. You are high.
Okay.
Yeah. For a get-in price for the worst ticket?
It's Ohio State, Michigan.
For now.
Yeah. For now. That's probably a good point Maddie just made. For now.
They roll into that thing with a donut in the L column, Ohio State, and doesn't really matter what Michigan's going to have because Ohio State fans are going to be jacked up for the game regardless. But Ohio State, they go into that thing undefeated.
So like last year, 11-0.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go into it 11-0 like last year, so he says the get-in price right now is $4 to $4.75 just to get in. Now, what do you think the get-in price ballooned to last year when they went in 11-0 into that game and Michigan went in also undefeated at 11-0, right? They were both undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
So 11-0 versus 11-0, what was the get-in price last year?
You're going $1,000, right?
It was, and obviously on the road, $850.
Okay.
At the end.
Closer there.
Yeah. To go and watch them lose. So,
you know what's interesting to me, AR, and I just thought of where we could go ticket-wise with some of these home playoff games.
Playoffs?
Those prices I think are going to be very high, but also how are they going to divide up the tickets for fans?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how all of that unfolds, right? Because when you talk about maybe
is the home team getting more?
That's what I'm saying, right? Like I don't know, maybe we can bring somebody on in the coming weeks that would know a little bit about that. But when we talk about this new expanded playoff and some of these home site games, these tickets that are going to be so coveted with these brands that we may not see all the time playing each other, how are the tickets going to get divided up?
Maddie, dominated by home teams for sure. Yeah. I mean, if you have a team out west that has to fly east, the fans aren't going to spend that money, especially unless they think their team's just because presumably that team's the worst seed. They're not going to be the favorite. Imagine if, like, I don't know, name a – now, if for some reason Ohio State and Texas were not in the first round bye and the Longhorns were playing here in a round one game.
Oh, my goodness.
Then all of a sudden, that's a fan base that would do it. But I that would split it almost.
And
I also feel like they would want to be there. But
I also think on the other side, you have maybe some Buckeye fans because of how good the price would be. They may be tempted to sell that ticket, and that's how you get some burnt orange in the stadium too.
No question.
I don't know.
You can't. Right. If that's a one-time payday. Now, you know what happens. Don't sell your tickets. Don't do it. But
everybody's got a price, baby.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. All right, Paul Finebaum, off the heels of the Big Ten Media Days, kind of jumped from the top rope on Ryan Day. We didn't hear anything. I mean, I think he's done a good job of acknowledging it, but not obsessing about it. And I've called it out for, you can't say that everybody is coming back just to win that game. Everyone has their own recipe on why they came back. Could that be a percentage of it for some? Yeah. Could it be a big percentage? Yes. Small for some? Yes. Could it be NIL? Could it be the NFL draft status? Could be a lot of things. But Finebaum went all in on this is it for Ryan Day.
He's lost that game 3 years in a row, and he's talking about how his players are motivated to come back and play. Well, I heard that 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and last year, and you stunk in all three games. I mean, what are you talking about? And here's the problem with talking about Ryan Day. You look at his record, and I'm sure Doggy will quote it and Stephen A. will quote it. It's gaudy. Nobody has a record like him, except you can't choke the biggest game of the year. And to me, if he can't beat Michigan this year when he's got probably the best team in the country along with Georgia, after Harbaugh leaves, after all those great players depart, after a national championship, he ought to be gone. I mean, that is, it's simple as that. That's the biggest game of the year in the Big Ten. And I realize that Ohio State played for a national championship a couple years ago against Alabama. Well, only lost by 28 points. They've been to the playoffs, but that program hasn't won a national championship since 2014 when Urban Meyer was there. So quit making excuses, Ryan Day.
The only thing I would say is, and he's probably not wrong about where this sentiment will be if they lose that game this year, but where are the excuses he's talking about? I've not heard a straight excuse. I mean, if you say they came back to beat Ohio State and maybe he's not taking ownership of that, I'm the head coach and it's not them it's not the players technically that have to right the wrong, I do. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's where he was going. Did you sense
I haven't heard excuses either from Coach Day. I've heard ownership, and we know how things can work sometimes when you're Paul Finebaum and you're on shows like First Take. They want those big spicy takes, and he took a flamethrower to Lincoln Riley the other day as well. So I think for me, like the bottom line in this situation is if they do end up losing again to Michigan, of course, emotions are going to be sky high and people are going to be pointing the finger at Coach Day and, Twitter responses or whatever. It's going to come down to what does Ross Bjork believe? And does he believe that he's the guy that should remain if that scenario does come into play? Because I think you do have to value a lot of what Coach Day has done. But unfortunately, Coach Day is in that position to where we talked about it the other day. There's certain guys and teams and coaches around the world that the regular season stuff doesn't really matter as much. And when fans are well aware of what you've done on the recruiting trail and what you've brought in through the transfer portal and a bit of an idea of the big money that you're throwing around in the NIL realm of college football, you want to cash in on a trophy. So we know how the game works around here. We've seen it for years. And Coach Day is well aware of the pressure that is on him and his team, and he's embracing it. And he's done some things this offseason to not only make the roster look better on paper, but his coaching staff look better on paper as well. So it's put up or shut up time. Everybody knows it, but that game's so far away that you can get really distracted worrying about Michigan here in July and August and September. You got to build it brick by brick, and I think they're going to be focused all the way through.
It's not wrong. I agree with you. It's kind of flared up a little bit, certainly, and I get that, and why shouldn't it be? We can't talk about expectations here and lose those 3 games and have them be the only Big Ten losses. They had a chance to right the ultimate wrong. If he beats Georgia, he goes on to beat TCU, then it's the weirdest thing ever. Then it's how do you win a national title without beating Michigan? They would have pulled it off, and they didn't get there. So there's no denying his record. But when you have the talent they have, you're going to be favored in 80, 90% of the games you play. You're supposed to win it, and you know that. So if you can be a victim of your own success, he probably is, but he doesn't have the ultimate success. That's what he's measured against. Mm-hmm. He is measured against Tress won a national title, Urban won a national title. You're the next in line. You inherited an undefeated record against Michigan from Urban. Like the pressure that he got when he got the job.
Can you ever sit on the Iron Throne is what you're saying. Can you ever get the King's Landing and take the throne? That's what you got to do.
No doubt. Listen, 56-8 is nothing to.
It's great,
but it's not.
It's the 8 that's the loud part.
That's it.
That's the big.
And when you're at Ohio State, those are the ones you remember.
No doubt.
The big wins and the big losses, not all the meat in the middle. All right, we come back with Adam Schefter, senior NFL insider for ESPN, and the next biggest contract. Who's getting it? Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's shaping up to be one of the hottest summers on record, Columbus, which means your AC unit is being put to the test. With thousands of perfect Google reviews, your cooling experts at Sears Heating and Cooling will ensure your comfort just as we have the last 74 summers. Whether your AC unit is in need of maintenance, repair, or replacement, your Sears cooling team will get the job done right the first time at the best possible price. That's right, from Bexley to Sunbury, enjoy the local pricing advantage of doing business with your neighbors at Sears. SearsHeatingCooling.com.
He's a former coach with 2 sons who played professional basketball. Satch Sullinger's a competitive individual, but his golf game was suffering because of painful joints.
Right, that's real important. The golf game, right. As we get older, we create these bad habits because we're relegated to hit a certain way.
QC Kinetics used regenerative treatments, all natural healing properties from Satch's own body, to restore those damaged joints and get his golf game back on track.
QC Kinetics regenerative medicine is regenerating me, all natural. And that's what I'm about. I'm going to tell everybody why I'm better.
Oh, and by the way, it looks like the competitive Satch is back.
We're all in the same boat, and I'm getting better, and I'm watching them stay old.
Go to QCkinetics.com. Get relief and your game back. Call for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and our summer clearance event starts now with 0% financing on the 2024 Toyota Tundra. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for details. Hurry in. Offer ends July 31st. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
With approved credit, 0% up to 48 months, tax, title, and $250 doc fee not included.
Wouldn't it be fun if we went back and aired old Buckeye games where they kicked the crap out of people? It's happening, baby. Join Timmy Hall for Buckeye Replay, Saturday at 1.
This week, Ohio State and Washington from 2007.
The Fan.
You've waited all summer, and now is the time to take action at Buckeye Lake Marina. Join Buckeye Lake Marina on Saturday, July 27th from 9 to 5 for their massive summer boat extravaganza. Door prizes and giveaways, free food and refreshments. There will also be dock demonstrations with every available boat in the water. Take a ride aboard the latest and greatest new and used boats offered on Buckeye Lake. Don't miss Buckeye Lake Marina's Summer Boat Extravaganza this Saturday, July 27th from 9 to 5. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for details.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. How much income will you need to retire? Let us help make sure you reach your financial goals. Visit SafeHarborOH.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. SafeHarborOH.com.
Tomorrow is National Chili Dog Day, and there's no better place to celebrate than Skyline Chili. Gather your friends and family and head to your neighborhood Skyline for those world-famous Skyline cheese conies. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, exciting week for Schefty and for the NFL, of course. But we'll get to that in moments. He's the senior NFL insider for ESPN. He's on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fangus Hotline. My man, good to have you aboard.
What is going on, guys? I probably drove right past you on Monday in my travel travails here. It was unbelievable.
So, yeah, for the people that didn't hear it, and I told Maddie about it during the break, because you told on McAfee's show. So you're in Detroit, and you're going to fly back to New York, and this was because it affected us too, the global tech chaos and all that. So this was planes, trains, and automobiles, a scene out of that. When did you decide that, hey, we got to get back to New York, and the only way we're going to do this is you took a car service? Is that correct?
Well, no. Well, sort of. I took a cab. So if you want to call a cab a car service, yes, I did that. But what happened is, we were flying back, my wife and I, Sunday night from Detroit. And we're supposed to board at, 9 o'clock. The plane wasn't boarding the airport. I've never seen anything like this. It looked like the day before Thanksgiving. People lined up at the customer service line or, for gates and gates, looked like hundreds of people. They kept delaying our flight. And in the interim, I booked a backup flight the next day. And I was talking to the airline worker there, and I'm like, what do you think? And he's like, I don't trust it. It's going to be like this for a few days. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. Well, they canceled the flight after 1 a.m. And when my wife and I headed outside, it was like a sporting event or concert just let out. It was like hundreds of people from delayed and canceled flights across the airport, all pouring out of Detroit Metro Airport, trying to get a cab or a Lyft or a taxi or an Uber at 1 in the morning. It took us about 45 minutes to get one. I remember what that guy and another person said about not having any faith that the plane was going to leave tomorrow. My wife, who was a type 1 diabetic, said to me, I only have insulin for one more day. And I said, that's it. We're driving. And she got really upset. I think, in a way, you got to be a little bit mentally prepared to know you're going to be embarking on a 10-hour drive. And I made the executive decision, and I said, we're driving. She got very upset. I spoke to the cab company that was driving us back from the airport. I'm like, would you drive us to New York? They're like, we do that? I'm like, great. What would you charge? They told me it was a lot, but I'm like, I got to get my wife home. And I don't want to leave my fate in the hands of Delta Airlines. I just don't want to do that. And so we took a cab at 6 a.m. on Monday morning, got home after 4. And, on Tuesday morning, as we're watching Good Morning America, and there's stories about more and more delays and Delta being derailed, I said to my wife, I am so happy that we made that drive through Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and New Jersey to get back home. I am so happy we did that. And she said, you're right. And I said, wait, hold on. What did I just hear you say? She said, you're right. I said, we've been married for over 17 years. That might have been the first time in 17 years I've ever heard her say right. And it was a feeling of helplessness, despair. There was no transparency, no updates. And honestly, I felt really bad for the guy that was working in the Delta ticket counter. He was great. He kept saying, we're trying to get pilots. We're trying to get flight attendants. We're trying to do what we can. I don't know that it's going to happen. Just being honest. And you had people going up to this guy and just unloading on him. And the guy was just doing his job. He's trying to do his job, and people were flipping out, which I understand that too. Because, there were people that were stuck there for hours and hours and hours, people that needed to get out, had to get out, couldn't get out, people with health issues like my wife. And I don't mind saying it, Delta did a horrendous job. Horrendous. It was the worst performance I've ever seen in my 35 years of professional travel. That's an amazing story. Yeah. Would you like to share how much a cab costs from Detroit to New York? Because I know that's what everybody's thinking. I'll give you one guess, and I'll tell you if you're over or under. A 10-hour journey? Yeah. My goodness. I would have to say $1,000. Over. Okay. And we'll leave it there. Okay.
Whew, it's a crazy story, Schefter. Glad you guys made it back safely. There's a lot going on right now. Training camps are rolling, and you've been tweeting out a lot of interesting stuff to follow. Let's start in our backyard. Schefter, what are your thoughts on the approach from the Cincinnati Bengals front office and what they're doing here with Jamar Chase?
I find that to be one of the most intriguing situations in the NFL. I do. And I do just because you've got an elite wide receiver right now who reported yesterday, which I got to be honest, it surprised me a little bit. And it's a case where basically he right now is scheduled to make $1 million in base salary, and he also has a roster bonus of 3.8. So his total cash payment for this year will be $4.86 million. 4.86 total, including a $1 million base salary. Now, I'm just telling you, if it were me and my college teammate were making $35 million a year, and a receiver that played for Detroit's making 30, and the receiver in Philly's making 32, and I'm making 4.86, I'm just telling you, I'm not stepping on the field. Sorry. I'll be there, but my hamstring's going to be achy. My shoulder is going to be sore. My knee is going to be creaky. I'm going to have an upset. I don't think I can play. I'm sorry. Like, that's how I would do it.
You think it might head that direction?
I don't know how he's going to handle it. That's his life and his business. And you know what? Some people, they say, I'm going to go fight through it and play. Like, I don't know how he's going to handle it. But I just think it's a, if I were the Bengals, I would have put that to bed. I would have had it taken care of. That's me. Like, that guy is really good. And he's really important to your team. And you have a really good team. So why would you want this lingering out there? When you already have that going on with T. Higgins anyway. You want it with both receivers? Like, what are we doing?
It's a fair question. It's an absolutely a fair question. Let's go up to Cleveland and update us on the tweaking it looks like that Andrew Berry and the Browns front office made to an Amari Cooper contract. What's going on there?
Well, he wanted something done. And again, this is, I think, what smart, intelligent organizations do. You get a little creative. Nobody wants to spend extra money, but there are players, certain players, not many, who have leverage, who are elite players, who you don't want to have an issue with. So Amari saw the wide receiver market jump. He was scheduled to make 20. So the Browns did something simple and smart. They guaranteed the $20 million. How hard is that? He's going to make it anyway. And they added $5 million in incentives. Okay, Amari, you play like you think you can. You're going to make $5 more million. Like, simple, smart, done. He's taken care of. Issue solved. Not going to be anything during the season. Contract still up after the year. Win for the player. Win for the team. That's the job of everybody, right? To come up with wins for everybody. Shouldn't be that hard.
No, and it's a very good point, a good analysis on the north and south of our fine state here. Let me ask you this in our last, because we got a quick one here in final 45 seconds. So which quarterback will be the next to get the big bag? We have another probably massive contract to hand out. Tua, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love.
Jordan Love. I don't even hesitate saying that. I mean, to me, that those two sides are working feverishly to get it done. They're allowing him to sit out practice until they can get it done, assuming they can get it done. I would expect that the two sides would figure out a way to work it out, that he'd be next. Now, that doesn't mean that Tua couldn't get done suddenly. These things come together quickly. But if I had to bet $1 today on the next quarterback deal to get done, I would say it's Jordan Love.
Well done, my man. You put on the Superman cape this week. That's a great moment. You deserve it. And I'm glad you got the you were right. And savor it, my friend. Savor the flavor, as they say.
Yeah, well, again, I really want to thank that guy. Some of those Delta workers, they're taking the bullets of people above them making horrible decisions. And these people are out in the field really working hard and doing a great job. And the people who are responsible are just hiding and not being honest and not giving the updates that are needed and not getting the job done. Just terrible. So,
glad you got through it, my man.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys, and look forward to talking next week.
You got it. Adam Schefter on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right, we'll come back. Maddie, why don't we dig into that T. Higgins thing a little more on perhaps his last ride down there in the Queen City. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
An ex-jock and a very puffy, smooth-faced man. These are the first voices you should hear. Morning Juice. Your wake-up service.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
The summer sell-down is on at Performance Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Save thousands with bonus cash on select inventory. Plus, get another $2,500 off any new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram with your trade. One Performance, 2 locations, Georgesville and Delaware.
Trade value based on KBP, comparable, 2010 model or newer, and price of $5,000.
Everyone has that one goal. That thing they want to prove. Not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. Oh no, I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my 2 best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Common Man and T-Bone here. Visit Hollywood Casino Columbus this summer for exciting live sports action. We got the biggest screens around, and ESPN Bet is live in Ohio.
Plus, Penn Play Rewards members can win up to $500 Penn Cash every week. Visit PennPlaySports.com/cover5 today and register for your chance to play and win.
Not a member? Get the Penn Play app today.
Hollywood Casino Columbus is your live sports headquarters.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment is your source for John Deere construction equipment rental. We rent high-quality equipment and attachments with add-on options in TopCon precision construction technology. Whether you need 1 week or 6 months, we rent a variety of equipment to help you get the job done. All our rental equipment is fully serviced, fueled, and ready to get to work. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment rental needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
Bo Bishop here. High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America at the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or their 2 restaurant locations in Gahanna and Grandview. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Summer is full of family fun, strawberry picking, little Johnny's baseball games, warding off shark attacks on the beach.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
When you get sick of all that crap, turn to us. Download the Fan app and take us with you. The Fan.
Hi, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Need a perfect gift? Check out the new line of Glock watches and other stunning jewelry at Worthington Jewelers. Make every occasion sparkle with Worthington Jewelers, where exceptional gifts await.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes great pride in providing great customer experience and quality product to every job they do. From the first phone call to the end of your project, they'll know who you are. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF, NewmanRoofing.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
A perfect afternoon parlay. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right. Little Bengal talk here. T. Higgins reports for training camp. And whether or not this is going to be his last ride, it feels that way. And like Schefter said, you know, they're not doing their players any big favors right now in a winning window. And so rather than giving their stars what they're worth, he is kicking the can down the road. And so T. Higgins, and this is probably where it was going to go, leveraged him into playing. It's not the worst decision ever to tag him, I don't believe. But you've sent this down the road, and this happens with every team when you tag a guy. This could be it, right, Matty?
No doubt, man. And he gave a quote to the team website, and he said, I had time to reflect and think. I had long talks with my agent, a lot of back and forth about what I wanted to do. I just made the decision to sign the tag. At the end of the day, I just wanted to come out here and try to win a Super Bowl. I'm happy with the decision I made. I'm here for the Bengals for the 2024 season. I'm ready to get it done. and get with my guys. Everybody knows what's going on here. T. Higgins is probably going to be suiting up for somebody else next year. So financially, he's made more money than he's ever made signing the franchise tag, but that's not going to make him feel really great because we know what all these guys want, and we want guaranteed money and years of security. So what's weird to me is what we just got done talking to Schefter about, and just the dynamic now that I can't wait to see unfold with Ja'Marr Chase. And this may be fine. He may come into training camp that starts today, and they got in the building yesterday, and hit the ground running. But what I thought Schefter was shining a light on was reality and how some of these athletes may think, and especially when you are one of the top dudes at your position and you've seen the market absolutely boom this offseason around you. Schefter said, he's making less than $5 million this year, and the base salary is $1 million and some change. So he's got to work his way up to a handful of $1 million. So that's very interesting. And I'm with Schefter. I don't know what they're doing here. This is I think, bad business by Mike Brown and company. I don't really care what some people are saying, trying to protect the franchise. There's no need to protect the franchise at this point. This is about the players on the field. This is about the star players, and this is about one of the best duos in the league in Ja'Marr Chase and Joe Burrow, and there's no reason why this contract shouldn't be done.
When Joe Burrow got his record-breaking deal at the start of last season, $219 million of his $275 was effectively guaranteed, and that included, the big base salaries for 23, 24, 25. I don't know what that did to this whole thing. Katie Blackburn, oversees the salary cap, and this year Cincinnati is 13th in total cash spending, if you look at the roster management stuff. And so they take a lot of pride in the amount of dead money, or the low amount of dead money they have every year, and the dead money is guaranteed money that counts against the cap. When you have a star, I agree with you. You try to stay ahead of the money. That's it, the best you can do. And so, but they really feel they can do that in another year. And it's weird when you're in a winning window, but I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to maybe get another year down the road with him.
Here, I would be on board with them if they had another that they were ready to sign now that's an impactful player. There's nobody else they're going to spend that money on to help them win in 2024. The roster is the roster at this point, unless somebody gets injured throughout training camp, and you got to bring somebody else. And it's just a bad look. The optics of it are just bad, because this whole thing with T. Higgins and why you're pushing him out the door after this season is to take care of Ja'Marr Chase. And this isn't the other part of this too that's a head scratcher for me is it's such a proven product with Ja'Marr Chase and the grimy things that he had to do last year when everybody was injured and he was getting all the attention and still put up good numbers and had to deal with, a lot of different coverages, and he still found a way to be productive. You know what it looks like with Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase. So just go ahead and do it now. And you brought up a good point. All you're doing is making yourself spend more money on the back end. That's all you're doing. So I would be surprised if Ja'Marr Chase comes out in the next couple of days and he's out there going full go in practice. I won't be shocked if this turns into a hold-in type of situation, because that's exactly what I would do. There's no way I'm risking it at this point, especially after this franchise has shown, not only in this situation, but throughout the years, that they make some funky decisions when it comes to their finances. Would they really take care of me if I dealt with a severe injury, if I got hurt here in the coming weeks? That's a massive question mark for me. So if I'm Ja'Marr Chase, sorry, Zach Taylor and Joey B, I love you, but I'm not coming to practice right now. Yeah. I can't do it.
That's the player's option, to go that route, and he has the goods to do it, and they're in a winning window to do it. So he, whatever leverage he has, he certainly has it now. He does not have any incentive to get this extension done before CeeDee Lamb. That's the other thing, though. Like, when do you wait, and how do you see things? And the more players that sign these deals, the more likely he's going to get a higher figure. So,
well, is he from them, though? Is he from this front office?
Right.
That's what we don't know.
That's the waiting game. Yeah. And that's why if you're them, unless, and you and I aren't in on these negotiations, unless he wants to follow up Justin Jefferson and say, I got to have that.
And he should be asking for that. He's worth it. Even if you don't want to go to 110. If they guarantee Ja'Marr Chase $90 to $100 million, I don't think anybody should complain. He's that dang good.
You drafted him where you drafted him. You've seen what it is. You just need to keep the quarterback healthy, but that's every team. And you wrap up and lock up the star of stars. I agree. There'd be no arguing for it the other way. And this is who they are. And I hope it doesn't affect them. But by Schefter bringing it up, I think it's realistic, right?
I 100% think it's realistic. We see this in years of football, right? These guys that don't like where they're slotted financially or they're right on the cusp of having a big payday. Why put your body on the line in a sport that's so brutal before you get to anything that matters?
Especially at that money. Yeah. You see a guy with 110 guaranteed and you've got, $1 million or 3.8 or wherever it's going to go.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
All right, we'll stay with the receivers when we come back after a SportsCenter update. And does Ohio State have the best receiver in the land? And does he wear scarlet and gray? We'll tell you in the rankings coming up. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. Austin Ward here. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3-putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy amongst your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken 180 is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist bumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
We go to war for you.
Burn injuries can be devastating, but you don't have to face them alone. Call Sugar Shinar Trial Attorneys today at 877-WAR-FOR-YOU.
We go to war for you. WarForYou.com.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a new golfer, think beyond the green and head over to X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell. Come experience the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world at X Golf. A fun venue with great food, excellent service, and a full bar. You can play around on one of our 50 courses, take a lesson from our PGA Pro, hit the driving range, join a league, or just sit back and sip a beer on the outdoor patio. Book your tee time today at playxgolf.com. X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell, the home of indoor golf.
Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend is back. Shop buy one, get one half off wedding bands, 20% off diamond anniversary bands, and special offers on diamond engagement rings. Visit us at Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend, Friday, July 26th and Saturday, July 27th on Sawmill Road.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. The Reds are on the board early against the Braves today. First game of a Wednesday afternoon doubleheader. Those are always nice. Spencer Steer had a RBI triple, wound up heading home on a throwing error near inside the Parker, and then Jake Fraley blasted a 2-run shot to give them a 4-0 lead. It's 4-1 now in the second inning. The Guards took Game 2 from the Tigers last night. Game 3 of the 4-game set tonight at 6:40. Tanner Bybee is on the hill. College football, The Rose Bowl is at it again for the sake of tradition. They are seeking to get out of the college football playoff semifinal rotation starting in 2026. They want to permanently play their game on January 1st at 5 p.m. Eastern. Big night at lower.com in the Arena District. MLS All-Star action at 8, playing the Liga MX All-Stars. Breaking sports news on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Their live golf team name is Ice Dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program, some ins and outs coming your way. Jake Burns, a little Browns film breakdown, going into camp at 1:33. Hall of Fame game tickets to give out at 2 o'clock. So don't go anywhere. Did you guys happen to see the graphic that ESPN propped up underneath Ryan Day when he was on Get Up yesterday?
I did not. I don't watch Get Up.
It said Ryan Day, 40-0 versus Big Ten programs not named Michigan.
It's the elephant in the room.
Solid little graphic there.
Mm-hmm.
A little creative graphic.
They do it for all the big-time quarterbacks, right? And you got all these great regular season stats, but that playoff record may not be good. The touchdown-interception ratio in the playoffs may not be good, and that's the level of, I don't want to say greatness, but I think Ryan Day has reached a level of enough respect around the sport where people acknowledge him as one of the best coaches in the sport. However, what you just mentioned there is what he's got to iron out that wrinkle. And until he does that, a lot of people are going to, poke at him about it. It's just got to be, the message he's given to his team is that we can't focus on that. Those are talking points. Those are for the debate shows and for radio shows and for podcasts, for everybody to zoom in on that, because the dude knows what it is. He absolutely knows what it is. So, yeah, the big game stuff is going to hover over him until he gets it done.
If he would lose to Michigan again here with this team, it's not even, and we don't know what Michigan's going to be, but the one part I wanted to bring up is it's not only what Ohio State is supposed to be this year, it's what Michigan is not supposed to be. That's another big part of it. Now, if you lose to Michigan and they win the Natty, you're still not getting any consolation. It's not like, oh, well, you got beat by a better team. No one's saying that in this town. So it doesn't matter whether Michigan's bad, mid, good. It doesn't matter. Great. It doesn't matter. You got to beat them. But this year, you really have to beat them based on the fact that they could be on a Natty hangover and the fact the game is here and the fact you have the 3-game losing streak. But if you were to lose to them again and you circle the wagons and get into the championship game of an expanded playoff, and let's say lose to Georgia, let's say it's the exact same scenario, but you lose in the championship game this year, like you right the wrong and get all the way there. How Ross Bjork, how they balance that over there on what success means and how you would define it on a 4-game losing streak to Michigan, yet a championship game appearance and a respectable loss in that game to maybe the number 1 or number 2 team in the nation. I don't know. I can't play it out in my mind right now, but it feels like they would be really looking for answers. And it's the weirdest thing, right? Because if you have 2 losses and one of them is to Michigan and the other one is in a championship game, how do you balance? You say that the season sucked? No, you don't. But I think that's where we are realistically. I don't think there'll be any place to run and hide from that, because if you don't beat Michigan and somehow then you start questioning whether or not there is something wrong with the leadership and the coaching. I know the players, they solve everything, but how could you not think that?
Yeah, and it's, just we can't jump into the mind of Ross Bjork, right? And it'd be great to be a fly on the wall in those discussions if that scenario does play itself out. But on the other side of this rivalry is what you laid out and then some with what Michigan had to go through with Harbaugh. I mean, they were getting dominated for much longer than what we are going through right now here in Columbus. So it's just, I don't think you ever want to have those crazy knee-jerk emotional decisions when it comes to making a big decision like that, because on the flip side of some of the losses are in the immediate future of the third loss to Michigan, was one of the best all seasons we've seen a coaching staff put together with the guys coming through the portal and the recruiting that he's turned that into. I mean, they got the number one class in the nation in 2025. So the brand of Ohio State still is very, very strong despite being in the middle of a storm with your rival. So do you throw that away because you're worried about one game? That's why I think all of that stuff, like you're saying, would be very, very fascinating. But it seems like this team has a serious chance to correct that wrong this year. And Michigan is a question mark, but you talked to players, I've talked to players. Like some of those guys say, hey, when you get to that game, somehow, some way, that game always finds a way to get a little funky, even though maybe Vegas is saying it's this or we're saying it's that. And I think at that point in time, Michigan will be a lot more comfortable in who they are as a team. Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty, but I still think when we get to that game, the defense that they're going to roll out will be really, really good. And so on offense, the question is, what are they doing at quarterback and all of that? But I still think that's going to be a physical line of scrimmage game, and we've talked a ton, and we will continue to talk a ton about the questions around the offensive line for Ohio State. And if you roll into that game with a questionable offensive line, it could be another sad Monday in Columbus, Ohio, and around Buckeye Nation. That's just how the game has been won here over the last few years.
And despite that, they've still had chances to rescue those games, despite the physicality and the domination that Michigan had in those areas. But there's no denying that this game has to be won this year. And if it's not, I think there's nothing that shouldn't be on the table. I understand exactly where you're going because you have to look at the future of the program, where it is, where it's going. And you usually don't like to say, well, the one loss is everything. But here it is. And it's not the first one. This would be the fourth one.
But it also,
that's the difference.
That loss,
the compounding of it.
The loss emotionally hits the same, but X and O wise, it's not going to anymore because of the wiggle room you have with the playoff. So you're always going to have a chance to redeem yourself with where Ohio State will be. So that's the different part of this journey that we're going on now as college football fans is that, yes, the pain of losing to your rival, it sucks. But there's probably going to be a lot of opportunities for you to bounce back and come out on the other side and possibly be the last team standing because of this 12-team playoff. It's weird. All of it's weird. That's how it's affected things to me when it comes to that whole 4 quarters of play against the Wolverines.
It doesn't, to me, the only way out is you win the last game of the year. It's the only way out. Like, I don't see a scenario of losing to Michigan and not winning at all where anything is off the table. It's just the way it is here. I can't imagine. Now,
but if you lose to Michigan and win the Natty,
you
won the ultimate prize.
You're the last team standing.
You won the ultimate prize.
That's the way. Everyone's already saying it's almost impossible to go undefeated. They almost did it the other year, and they probably very much could have done it or should have done it, but they didn't. And it's weird because the more you lose, the more you feel like, part of me is like, well, there's no way they lose again. Like, there's just no way. Not with this team, not who they are and who Michigan is supposed to be in a semi-rebuilding.
Never know, though.
But, of course, and that's it. And because I sat here, and I'll be the first one to admit it, I was as wrong could be in the Stroud v. McCarthy game. And it was one of those things I just didn't see. First of all, Donovan Edwards running for 216 yards was not on the bingo card.
Well, we had evidence of that. Well, I think it kind of was, right? Because throughout the year, that defense was giving up. That was the theme of the year, just the big plays that defense continued to give up in year one with Jim Knowles, and it came back to bite them at the most important time. So to me, that wasn't that big of a surprise.
I'll tell you why it was to me. Yeah, I'll tell you why a little bit was to me. Because the whole game plan going in was to make McCarthy beat him. And he did. And you're right. They were lost defensively. I guess what I'm saying, going into that game, I had and by the way, they were leading the game at halftime. As bad as the game was, they were still leading that game at halftime. And I'm like, okay, now the wake-up calls happen. Here we go. There are times where I've gone into that game thinking as confident for them as I've ever been. And that game on that, and by the way, no snow. It wasn't cold. It was like 60 some odd degrees. It was sunny. I could not think to myself.
Why you play the games.
The kid that had the great game in that game, even in a loss, was Emeka Egbuka. He had a better game, you could say, statistically, than even Marvin Harrison. He had an awesome game. And it's too bad because now it's a footnote. It came in a loss. When it comes to forecasting who will be the best receiver in college football this year, which would be the Freddie Bolitnikoff Award winner, one of the great receivers of all time, and came out of Florida State, I believe, and then obviously a famous Raider. That's what they're all going for. And did you tell me that he stacks up pretty good?
He's high up on the list, man. Yeah. According to Vegas, he's right up there at the top. The leader on the board right now is Luther Burden, and Buckeye fans know him well because he caught a touchdown pass in the bowl game. But outside of that, the dude was just an absolute stud in that season. He and Brady Cook will be really good again. But right after him, he's at 5-1. Is Emeka Egbuka at 7-1? So you mentioned that 2022 season. The dude was an absolute monster. I mean, he was second on the team in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. He had 10 touchdowns that year, and those yards ranked him third in the Big Ten. So it's absolutely in there. It was encouraging to hear from Coach Day yesterday that he's saying he's seeing the best version of Emeka right now. We got a little sprinkle of that in that spring game where he had that one-handed catch on the sideline. So he's going to be the leader of that group. And you want to hear from Emeka? Let's go hear from the
expectations I think he was talking about.
The things that are happening, right now during this time frame are the same things that are happening every single year when we start a new year. Everybody's talking about Ohio State, all the hype around us, everything. So it's been the same all the years I've been here. So you kind of learn to manage it, like you're saying, and kind of just keep things within the building, play for the love of your brothers, and stay focused on what we got going on inside our own walls.
Babe, go ahead and play the third one, sense of urgency too. His thoughts on that.
Every year you go into it laser focused. Some years you just, don't have everything, all the pieces fall in line. So I would say it's a heightened sense of urgency. We have the same urgency we have every single year.
What's interesting too about this Bolitnikoff, the odds are, Oregon's got two guys in the top 7 that are, it's Evan Stewart, he's at 10-1, and Tez Johnson is at 15-1. So that could be one of the best unit-on-unit matchups of the year around college football, is that wide receiver core for Oregon going up against what should be a spectacular secondary for Ohio State.
Tez was really cooking with Bo Nix, and I'm wondering now with Dylan Gabriel what that chemistry will be like. A little similar to, because Tez is going into his senior year there after transferring from Troy, and I feel like this will be very interesting to see how the chemistry is with Will Howard, because I just keep saying Will Howard because he's the one that threw the one-handed catch that he made during the spring game. And I think what I got out of that spring game, that Emeka one-hand catch of the day in the spring game was that Howard sidestepped that rush to his left and put it in a place where he could reach out and get it. And that right there was like, okay, I got some. They may have something there,
or it could be a bad ball.
No, I don't. I think he lofted it right there to a place he could reach out and get it after the rush kind of got to him.
The only reason why I'm bringing that up is because that's just one question I have about Will, is how pinpoint he can be with the rock. But when you got star players like Emeka, they can make up for some of that with those one-handed grabs when the pass may not be as clean as it needs to be.
That's what the quarterback wants, is a guy that I can throw up either a 50-50 ball or somewhere where I know it won't get picked, but only he can get it. That'd be the beauty of it. But, yeah, he's right there. And so we'll see how these guys cook this year. We'll come back with some ins and outs. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Are Man and Bone stupid in real life? Yes. Yes, they are. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
Hey, have you heard about Tim Hortons' new happy hour? Get 50% off summer menu drinks after 2 p.m., Monday to Thursday.
50% off?
Yeah. Try the new Cocoa Caramel Crunch Iced Cap, Butter Pecan Cold Brew, Mango Frozen Lemonade, Solar Splash Tim's Boost, and Berry Cherry Refresher.
There are so many options. That's really good.
Discover a new favorite with Tim's Summer Menu and enjoy 50% off during happy hour. Only at Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Terms apply.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island. When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier.
Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
Summer's heating up at Zoombezi Bay. Slide into the action with our thrilling rides. Relax and unwind in the lazy river. Join us for $19.99 admission after 4 p.m. Zoombezi Bay, Central Ohio's largest water park. Get your tickets at ZoombeziBay.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
FC Series presents Premier League giants Manchester City versus Chelsea. Don't miss the chance to see these great teams live at Ohio Stadium. Get your tickets now at fcseries.com.
Bishop and Friends.
Is there any actual empirical evidence that bulking up and being heavier makes you more durable? I pretty much broke my foot when I was fat, so
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony for the Good Feet store. 3 words for me: pain-free summer. Spent probably 30 hours walking around the Memorial Tournament and felt awesome with my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store in my everyday kicks. Sure, every now and then we all get random foot pain from pickleball or golf or just being a human being. Having my personally fit arch supports in my shoes has made a massive difference. And even right after I put them in, didn't take long to feel much more supported and aligned, and it's so easy to just move them into any pair. Before I had them, I dreaded being on my feet for any length of time. Well, you have nothing to lose but the pain, as they say. It's a free fitting and test walk. Try them for yourself. See the difference it can make. It did for me. And best of all, you can wear them home. 2 locations on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road, or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet store, America's arch supports experts.
Hey, Ohio! Don't miss the Ohio State Fair July 24th through August 4th.
With fair favorites like the Butter Cow sculpture, livestock animals,
Endless shopping,
delicious fair food,
free live music, thrilling rides and games,
competitions, and so much more.
Enjoy all that the Ohio State Fair has to offer now through Sunday, August 4th.
Tickets on sale at the gate or at ohiostatefair.com.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly cloudy today with a few afternoon showers, high 87. Cooler and less humid tomorrow with a high of 84. There is still a 20% chance of rain on your Thursday. Friday and Saturday are gorgeous with highs in the mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present In or Out.
Just a little of the old in and out.
All right, Bake, what do you got cooking?
All right, guys, we know that the Blue Jackets still have some restricted free agents to sign. One of those is Kent Johnson, and there's rumors out there that Kent Johnson and his camp are looking for just a 1-year deal with the CBJ since he's coming off of a down year. Hopefully cash in more next season. Are you in or out on this?
I feel like I'm a little bit in on it just to find out a little bit what's going on there. You have to have this work out. I know he's had some injuries and this, went through a new coach, and the benchings and the healthy scratch and all that. It would be hard now to feel like, I mean, certainly you wouldn't give up on it, but it feels like bridge is the best way to go at this point. I just don't sense that long-term situation. I know you want to kind of feed into what you hope he's going to be, but I feel like we got to let it play out now under Coach Evison.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. This is kind of the opposite of what we talked about with Jamar Chase, where you know what you have in him, and there's no reason to really wait on that. With Kent, I think this works for both sides. If I'm Don Waddell and the decision makers, let's extend them out for a year. And if we got to come back to the table next year and hit him with a nice price tag, we'd be willing to do that if we see his availability cranks up. But more importantly, the production is there as well. So we know the talent is there. He just got to show everybody. So I'm in.
If you're Kent, you see Chinnikov sign that 2-year, $2.1 million a year contract. There's no way you deserve more than him right now, so definitely a chance to try to cash in. CeeDee Lamb, we heard he's going to be holding out of training camp because he has not received a contract extension that he likes. Are you in or out that CeeDee Lamb becomes the highest paid wide receiver?
Wow. So we're talking 35, so maybe 35 and some change over Justin. And are you talking guarantees, Bake, or AAV? Total guarantees?
Total guarantees.
I don't think we're getting 110. I don't think, but he absolutely went off last year. I think he will be, when he signs his deal, the second highest paid wide receiver. So I'm going to be out.
Yeah, I'm out on it too, and it's not really to slam him. I know he had the most catches in the NFL and all those yards. I think it was top 2 in yards, first in catches, maybe top 3 in touchdowns. So, I mean, something projected for him. He may expect to be the highest paid receiver in the NFL. He may be dropping that Cowboy for life talk, but it's going to be below that. I feel like we're looking at something like, I don't know, 120 for 4. Let me, or maybe that's even light for
Maybe
him.
a little light, GM.
Let's see, 120 for 4 is 30 mil. Yeah, that's 30.
I got to get him at least a 33.
Probably close to that. I mean, if the annual salary starts with a 3 in front of it, I wouldn't be mad at starting the conversation there.
Do we think this gets done before Jamar?
I do.
It feels like it, right?
I do. They've got a history of taking care of their guys. Jerry's not going to want to mess around with this. And it seems like they have more urgency to sign him than they do Dak Prescott. So, yeah, I think CeeDee's deal gets done, and he's willing to eat the fines because he's not in the building. He's doing the hold out, not even the hold in, which is, I think, a bit of a mistake, but it's his money.
You can now get Wendy's chicken nuggets in buffalo, garlic parm, honey barbecue, and ghost pepper, as Maddie would like to say, sauce.
Yes, sir.
Are you guys in or out on the saucy nugs?
Do I get to souse them myself, or they come pre-soused?
They're pre-soused.
Yeah, so I'm out. I like to control the dipping. I used to love grabbing the honey mustard or the barbecue packets, and that way I can control that. I don't need them they're pre-soused, then you're eating them with a fork, not your hands.
Those nubs in there. You like licking those nubs. That sounds like your type of party right there.
It's a little too much on that, so.
You're out.
Yeah, just because I want to. It's not that I wouldn't think the sauce is good. I just want to control how much.
No, that's fair. When I see the commercials, they are tempting, and I tell you what, the garlic parmesan, something about that with a little ranch and blue cheese combination that works for me. And so I would be tempted to try the garlic parmesan. But AR brings up a good point, because if they over sauce them, then we got a problem. They got to get the sauce in just right. But I'd go out on a limb, give me a little 4-piece garlic parmesan nug, give me a little ranch, and I don't think I'd be mad at that.
Let me ask you this. Did they come with Andy Reid with his fingers crawling towards you to try to steal one? If they come with the crawl, the finger crawl.
That is creepy.
Then maybe I'll deal with it.
Maddie, some of the best garlic parmesan wings in the city are out your way.
Out my way.
At the old Grapevine.
You know what? Shout out to Grapevine on Refugee Road. Been holding it down for a while over there in Pickerington. That is my neck of the woods. I miss it over there, baby. Shout out to the 43147.
The Cleveland Guardians right now are tied with the Baltimore Orioles for the best record in the American League. They are both 60-40, a 60% winning percentage. Are you in or out that the Guardians finish the season with the best record in the American League?
A little spooked out right now by their offense. I know it looked pretty good last night, but they've gone a little cold there. That's going to happen throughout a season where there's 162 games played. I get that. But I think the Baltimore Orioles are getting ready to make a push and sign some type of stud pitcher, whether it's Garrett Crochet or Jack Flaherty or somebody like that. We know their offense is elite, so I think because of what they may do at the trade deadline over the next 5 to 6 days, that will have them pull away from, or at least catch the Guardians and then pull away after that. I'm concerned about the Guardians starting pitching. I don't love it. Like Cookie Carrasco, I love you, big dog, but maybe time to hang it up. I don't know.
I've been waiting for this team to come back to earth for a while, and they just haven't. They've had their lately last 10 games.
Yeah,
it's worrying me. But and the way the Royals are going off now, are they getting back into the race? The pressure should start to climb for the Cleveland Guardians. I agree. If you're going to hitch your wagon through 100 games to a team to have the best record, it's probably not the Guardians. It's probably the Phillies or the O's for me. Here's the cool part. They get to play both those teams soon. They'll get 3 games at Philly, and they'll get 4 games at home against Baltimore coming up the 1st of August.
Let's throw Philly out, just the American League.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll probably ride with Baltimore. I don't think I would take the Yankees.
It's just
over
getting
them,
weird
but
because
it's close.
You look at the overall AL standings right now, and 2 teams from the Central are only a handful of games behind them for the best record in the league. I mean, both the Twins and the Royals with cheese are 5 games back for the best record in the league. So, teams are creeping up in their rearview mirror, but they did so well out of the gate that this fall that you mentioned over the last 10 games has given them some grace. But I'm going to go with the O's because I think they're getting a stud pitcher in the house.
Yeah, I mean, they could get swallowed up in their own division. So I think if you're giving me the Guardians or the field, I'm going to take the field. But I know the field probably exists of maybe 5-6 teams.
Yeah.
That's it.
Twins have been really hot, too. Let's do one more quick one here, guys. Stores for the past couple of weeks have been putting out back-to-school stuff. Some of them have Halloween stuff already. Are you in or out on this?
Oh, to have it out now?
Yeah.
No. It's summertime. It's not even August. That's a joke.
AR hates the fast track of summer. He hates it.
If you want to...
Look, it's got him choked up. He hates it so much.
That's wrong.
Here's
why are we always doing that to ourselves? You know what? I think I answer my own question. We live where we are not present in anything. Technology has created this, so everyone's got to move everything up, right? Every shopping, every this, every gift, everything's got to be done early. Yeah. No one wants to wait because none of the retailers want to get caught behind with their pants down.
Or is it no one wants to procrastinate? Is that what you really wanted to say there?
I'm one of the all-time great procrastinators.
I can't listen.
September 1st
is for Halloween.
Fall.
Halloween's it's a little early. It is a little early for Halloween, but I am enjoying right now Christmas in July. As a man that loves Christmas in July.
When's the first day of fall? Late September?
I believe it's September 21st.
That's it. Then.
Why do you know that?
That's it.
Because they're all like the 21st or the 20th or the 23rd. Right. They're all around there.
Fair enough. That's when you
Ryan Baker and the fall equinox was back 1,000 years ago. And first day of fall. That's when you do it. That's when you roll out the candy. Well, give me some candy. Jake Burns will give us some candy when it comes to the brownies, and we'll break it down with him next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
For years, you've heard their name on the radio, seen their ads on TV, and spotted their trucks in your neighborhood. Maybe you've even shared a laugh or simply met a friendly team member at a fair or festival around Columbus. Newman Roofing has become a trusted name in Central Ohio and has built their reputation of honesty and professionalism within the Central Ohio community, which is why with over 32 years of service, Newman Roofing believes in giving back to the very same community that has supported them all these years. They've built lasting relationships with families, and it shows. Just look at their hundreds of 5-star reviews online to see how many people have trusted Newman Roofing with their roofing projects. Not only that, but how many have had their expectations exceeded. When it comes to your roofing needs, choose the company that your neighbors trust. For a customer experience you won't receive anywhere else, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things that you love? Bone-on-bone pain in your knee? Arthritic pain like I was having in my knee? Maybe your hip, your back, your shoulder? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that you can get lasting relief from. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day here in Columbus, led by Dr. Ray Tesner. I'm talking about cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Listen, my dad was having knee pain. I was having knee pain. So we went over to QC Kinetics, and they were able to help us out. And 2 years out, I'm still feeling good. My dad can still move around. So learn how QC Kinetics can treat pain and enhance your joints and restore your mobility and give you long-term lasting relief with no downtime. So check them out. Go to 380-208-4544 or head to one of their offices in Dublin, Gahanna, or now the new one that's most recently opened in Grove City.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place. And aspiring comedian.
That's fun. What's your best joke?
All right, 2 windows were hanging out side by side. The first window says, "Sure is a hot day." The other one says, "Ah, a talking window."
That's pretty good, Wilson.
Bet you can't top that one.
Well, at Pella, we don't have the talking windows, but we do have the windows your friends will talk about.
Dang it, that's good.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Come play Skyline 75th Coney Hunt game. Use your phone to search for virtual conies, tap to collect coins, and redeem them for exclusive Skyline merchandise at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time. Details at SkylineChili.com/Coney Hunt.
Contractors, builders, apartment managers, listen up. There's a new cabinet company in town, Choice Cabinet. Over 60,000 in-stock cabinets ready for you. They want your business. Call them 216-378-9313 or online at choicecabinet.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its head-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best bet on the radio. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, we talk about the Brownies going to camp. It's an 11-win football team last year. Made the playoffs. Did it trying to Band-Aid the quarterback position. And then, of all things, the defense lets them down against Houston in a game that you and I thought they were going to win until Stroud, tore them to ribbons. And then also the pick sixes obviously were just killer. But what kind of a team do they have this year? Jake Burns, our friend, congrats on breaking out with your own Browns coverage, and a very proud moment for you for Browns Film Breakdown. So well done. Looking forward to the site and everything you bring to the table.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. We're excited about building out a pretty cool place for passionate Browns fans to come learn about the X's and O's and get some in-depth coverage. So, yeah, just brownsfilmbreakdown.com. It'll be up next week. We're excited.
Let me ask you this. What real true battles at training camp are you keeping your eye on? Where should the focus be?
Well, I think if you're looking at the offensive side of the ball, most things feel settled in terms of this is a very veteran team. I think over the years we have thought the Browns you just get conditioned to be the youngest or one of the youngest average age teams in the league. And I believe they're like the fourth oldest on average team in the league this upcoming season, because a lot of guys have established who they are in the organization, and that lends a small window into battles. But I think if you're looking at like the ones that mean the most, you have 3 startable offensive tackles in Jedrick Wills, Jack Conklin, and Columbus's DeJuan Jones, who had a great rookie season. They're all kind of coming off of their own issues with surgeries and recovery. Conklin and Wills lost knee injuries, lost portions of their season last year. So and then obviously DeJuan too. So those guys getting healthy and figuring out who your left and right tackles will be is pretty vital for a team that had to overcome tackle play all season last year, because they lost Jack in week 1 and we're trying to find answers. And by mid-season, essentially both of those guys were done, and you were starting practice squad guys who you brought on. So, yeah, the left tackle, right tackle solution, how they figure that out, there's clearly talent, but figuring out how that works out is particularly interesting. I mean, the Jerry Jeudy, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore wide receiver setup is pretty much in place. You have some depth guys like draftees recently, Cedric Tillman and David Bell from Purdue that has been around for a couple of years, and Jamari Thrash. But the tackle one is probably the one I'm paying attention to, and just seeing what they kind of shake out with running back while Nick's on the physically unable to perform list. You're going to see what Deontay Foreman brings as a veteran. Is that going to cut into Jerome Ford's potential opportunity in his second year, kind of a chance to lead the room a little bit until, like I said, Nick is back. So pretty settled on that side. Defensively, it's again a group that is like the safety positions have pretty defined roles, even though like Ronnie Hickman, again, another Columbus guy there who did well, but like the veterans are in place. The corners, Emerson Newsome and Denzel are among the league's best. Your up front group is, the roles are kind of assigned. I guess it's like figuring out how Mike Hall comes in and establishes himself. If he's in that early rotation, will be worth paying attention to me. Can he carve into the second defensive tackle role early? The linebacker group, there are 2 linebacker team, Jordan Hicks, another Ohio kid from back in the day, and then obviously JOK is putting himself into the grouping of the NFL's best linebackers. He led the league in tackles for loss last season. So like it's kind of boring, but that's kind of like a mirroring what the offseason was for them. They have a lot of really good players and very defined roles. So it doesn't have a ton of questions around who's going to start, where are they going to play, and what's that role going to be. So you're really looking, can some of the young guys that come in, either draftees or second-year guys, sort of put the pressure on the people that are perceived in front of them. That's what you're drawn to, and especially considering they have some guys who won't be out there in the Greenbrier this week and into next week while they're away in West Virginia. You just are sort of looking like, can some of these guys, well, there's some vets on the PUP list, take advantage of that and sort of push for those roles, because that's what you want to keep your salary cap long-term healthy, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Jake, so Flacco comes in last year for Deshaun, and he and David Njoku had really good chemistry, and there were a bunch of targets going Njoku's way all the way to the finish line of the season. When you flip the page over to 2024, how much of that do you think needs to remain as far as the volume Njoku gets coming from Deshaun Watson this year?
I thought they cracked the code. That's a great question. I thought they cracked the code on what is he really good at. I think you look at David and if you get the chance to see him up close, he is as freaky a size speed athlete as you will come across. And you look at him and you obviously think that pushing the ball to him vertically is a part of what you should be doing, right? Let him go up and get it over smaller DBs in coverage. He can get up and out physical them, or he can run past linebackers. But really what the Browns had to do in a weird way last year was, I talked about where he caught this renaissance was with Flacco, and kind of when they brought Watson the second half of the year, when the tackles got hurt, they decided to keep him in sort of often to provide solutions to help the tackles block the edge. So they would chip what is called chipping the tackle and then releasing late. And those sort of delayed routes where David could run in space is what was fantastic about his season. So they decided we're going to do this as a part of his general route concept stuff, and then we're going to get him the ball underneath when we can. And he led the NFL tight end group in yards after catch by a wide margin, and was he was a tank to bring down in the open field that teams couldn't figure out how to stop him. He takes multiple people to stop you. So to answer your question as generally as I can, I think he's going to be a high-volume target guy. I do think that they're going to get him the football in space as many creative ways as they can, because if he builds up 5 yards of a running head start, he's agile enough to make you miss, but he also will just run through your chest. And I think DBs don't want to live that life. They don't like to tackle that way. These guys who are, 6'5", 260, and run the way he does. So they sort of crack that code of, let's get him the ball in shallower portions of the field, and he creates after the catch. And, that's a nice wrinkle for an offense that wants to try to get vertical here and there, but have a really, a piece of the check down element that is, this guy can turn a 3rd and 8 check down into a first down by running through people and creating yards after contact and stuff like that. So he's a unique guy, still young, despite being in the league for so long now. And I think he's on the precipice of a real breakout with how last year's second half went.
Jake Burns with us. Browns Film Breakdown. Follow it on X at Browns Film BDN. All right, final minute for us. Let me get your feeling on the Watson-Chubb situation here, right? I mean, will Watson return to the guy that they think they paid for? Will Chubb be around early on in this season, or will we'll have to play it so cautious that he'll join them late, and the impact of both? Are you more concerned about one more than the other?
I mean, it's a quarterback league so much, so you're always worried about Watson. So, to me, it's a shoulders he has to protect, and he's never really been a guy who likes to play a protected brand of football. So, obviously, when he plays, and I thought this was indicative on a rewatch series we did on my podcast, he can still do it. He can still be a really good quarterback in this league, but he has to be smart about protecting the body. I feel good about him if he's out there playing to be good, continually playing. But it's been 2 years of missing large portions of seasons. He just needs to play. He'll be fine if he plays. So he's got to shift the frame of mind a little bit there. But I really think he can be a top 10 guy again if he's continually out there for 17 weeks and going through the reps and the practice regimen, all that stuff. I think it's still there. Nick is different, right? It's a destructive knee injury, and he's doing all the right things and he's in the right place. But when you look at the schedule, if you want to be patient with him at the beginning of the year, because D'Onta Foreman and Jerome Ford can handle some of that stuff, I think you can tell yourself, when you look at the grind the Browns have after their bye week, and it's a loaded back half of the schedule, getting Nick back healthy, feeling really good could be a good jolt for them. So my hunch here, and it's a total hunch without any inside information, is that there's a level of patience that they're going to have here with Nick, and they want him to feel as close to being that unique special player he is, without rushing him back early in the year. So that's sort of almost like a pseudo trade where you bring in a really talented player toward the middle of the season could be something that they could do. But he's also a one freak of nature athlete who could just be back week 1 and be really good. And I could sound like an idiot, but nonetheless, it's more concerning. Always keeping your eye on the quarterback, but you want to see Nick get back to being the guy he was because he's a pretty special player.
No doubt. A lot of emotion there, too. All right, Jake, great job, man. Glad you jumped on. Jake Burns from the Browns Film Breakdown. We'll bring you back soon. Thanks, bud.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep, Jake was on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. It's weird because you want to be cautious, and I have no problem with them doing that, but he is so important to what their identity and what they need to be. The identity of the Ohio State Buckeyes could be defensive. Jack Sawyer talks about the leveling up of that side of the football next in the Buckeye Bulletin. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Your morning just got beefier. Morning Juice with Beamer, Bobby, and Shark.
Weekdays from 6 to 9.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, have you heard about Tim Hortons' new happy hour? Get 50% off summer menu drinks after 2 p.m., Monday to Thursday.
50% off?
Yeah. Try the new Cocoa Caramel Crunch Iced Cap, Butter Pecan Cold Brew, Mango Frozen Lemonade, Solar Splash Tim's Boost, and Berry Cherry Refresher.
There are so many options. That's really good.
Discover a new favorite with Tim's Summer Menu and enjoy 50% off during happy hour. Only at Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Terms apply.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444 Roof.
Integrity, honesty, and quality. Words we live by here at Monogram Homes. Hi, this is Dina, and at Monogram Homes, we strive to bring your wants to your man cave, your needs to your kitchen, and your ideas to life. Most home builders claim to be custom, but starting with stock floor plans and templates isn't our idea of a tailored experience. At Monogram Homes, we start with a blank slate and work with you until you get exactly what you want. So start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit us online at monogramhomes.net.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Tita Green with Skip Mosick.
Saturday, we'll talk technology with Titleist's Rod Cook. Check in at this week's tour stop in Minneapolis and visit with SI's Gary Van Sickle.
Tita Green with Skip Mosick. Presented by X-Golf. Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment is your source for John Deere construction equipment rental. We rent high-quality equipment and attachments with add-on options in TopCon precision construction technology. Whether you need 1 week or 6 months, we rent a variety of equipment to help you get the job done. All our rental equipment is fully serviced, fueled, and ready to get to work. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment rental needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
Ready to be the change and have a positive impact on your community? Consider joining the Columbus Division of Police. Starting pay is $70,000 plus, growing to 6 figures after 4 years of service. We offer paid vacations, paid holidays, and health insurance. Do you aspire to complete your degree? We offer 100% tuition reimbursement after you complete your first year of service. Contact the CPD recruiting unit at jobs@columbuspolice.org or apply online at columbus.gov/government/jobs. The City of Columbus is an equal opportunity employer.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Want to know anything about the Fan's contests, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on train systems, including 0% APR for 60 months.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. I believe we do have a Carmen's Crew Elite 8 type game tonight, do we not? So they're playing Heartfire, which is, I believe, the defending champs. That is a game tonight.
What time are we tipping off tonight?
So we got, I believe, let me take a look at the bracket. And I'm sorry that I didn't have that right at the ready here. But I know they're playing the defending champs.
Okay.
And that's a team that needs to get going against them, because ever since that elite overseas team, this team's been the team. So they'll play tonight. I'll get the bracket in a moment. Let's go to Jack Sawyer and talk about this defensive depth chart, how clear-cut it is, especially the ends with he and JT. And listen, these guys are talking about how the defense is going to be the signature side of this football team.
I think it can get a lot better. I think that when you look at our team and all the guys that came back, being our third year in the system, I think that you guys all saw the jumps. I think we felt the jumps from our first year in coaching the whole system to our second year. And, going into our third season, we just feel that much more confident. We know the system that much more. We know what to expect out of Coach Knowles in certain situations. So I think that the mixture of those things is just going to help us play faster and more free and lead to bigger plays being made too.
We talked about that. Those guys up front are going to be the key to all of that because they're going to light the fuse on the defense. And if they can pressure and do some things to let the back end and linebackers roam and play instinct football, then all of a sudden you've got the makings of an opportunistic ball hawking kind of a team. And that's what makes the Silver Bullets, that's what defined them, is that on any given play, that ball could be going back to the other end zone. And so that's who they need to be.
Yeah, man. And I completely agree with Jack. We've seen it over the last 2 years. Year one, it was a little dicey, and that's going to happen in sports, right? Especially in football. We were talking about a new coordinator coming in and, putting his defense on these guys and take some time to learn. And then you flip the page to last year, and they were lights out for the most part. One of the best defenses in the conference, one of the best defenses in the country. So you're bringing back that same talent, but more importantly to me, you're bringing back that experience. And these guys aren't going to be thinking. They're just going to be flying around and trying to knock people's teeth out on defense. And so Jack finished the year really strong, especially getting to the quarterbacks, had a handful of sacks over the last 3 games. And he and JT, Tyleek, those are going to be 3 of the vets on that D-line led by Larry Johnson to really cause some havoc for offenses. Because if that's going to happen, if that D-line is going to be consistent with stuffing the run and getting off blocks and getting to the quarterback with what this secondary is going to be, this defense can get real scary for some offenses. And so Jack, JT, Tyleek, those guys specifically in that Oregon game, that's going to be the game where it kind of, for me, is the measuring stick game, one of the measuring stick games of their careers, at least in the regular season, because now it's time to put it out there on the table and show who you've become as a senior and a veteran player in this system, is going into Eugene and making what should be one of the best offenses in the country disrupt their presence, disrupt their house and see what you can do against the Ducks. But, yeah, these guys have to feel confident based off of what they've learned already and everything that they've invested in this offseason. This defense should be lights out again.
Yeah, it's going to be, as much as we love to talk about offense and what Will Howard and what this offense can be in the running game, that, boy, they could give that team a lot of short fields and a lot of good field position. We'll come back. We'll actually come back with Denzel Burke now, and he commented on that losing streak to the team up north.
It is something we think about every day, but yeah, it's tough. By the end of the day, we didn't get the job done, so it's our job this year just to go with the mentality of just getting the W.
And he also added to that, what kind of echoing Will Howard's comments earlier about why he went with championship or bust.
Just kind of put it out there just to kind of get the younger guys, the transfers, to understand that I ain't come back for no BS. We're here to win it all, and we're going to need everybody, and we got to hold each other accountable, and every game is a matchup game this year, and no matter who we're playing, it's our job to just take them out and dominate.
I didn't come back for any BS part of it. I love that because I think when you are a vet like Denzel Burke and throughout the year, this team, I think, can have vets that can continue to preach that message to everybody. It doesn't even have to be young guys. It can be other vets to where if you feel like things are slipping or guys are getting distracted, man, this is all about, holding everybody accountable. And I think with what Denzel Burke can be is just a monster on the island out there on the outside. Coach Day said yesterday at the media days that he thinks he can be the best corner in the country. We've seen the talent since day one. That game against Minnesota a couple years ago when he was a freshman, you saw the vision there, and he's going to help lead what should be a nasty secondary with some really good corners and then a really good safety addition in Caleb Downs. So I loved hearing that the messages doesn't have to come from the coach. Us as vets know that we're not messing around this season and we're going to hold each other accountable. It's good to hear.
Yeah, so listen, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Their biggest strength besides talent may be the fact that they've been humbled as a program, and the guys came back with a singular focus. And the other part about it is we thought in this world of, Matty, of haves and have-nots in the NIL world that maybe there would be some distraction or divisiveness among teams or guys that on an island or you guys have it and we don't. Mm-hmm. This team seems to be one of those teams that has bought in early. And that's what, when you're a serious competitor and when you've lost and now guys are getting serious NIL deals, we just weren't sure on how much the motivation would be there. They have the perfect storm now. They have guys that want to live up to who they are and live up to the tradition of the NFL and all that, but They are in the present day now of trying to right the wrong. And I said it earlier, these guys are tasked with being the team to not continue the slide. We're the ones that put it to bed. Who put it to bed? We did. Like, that's who they are. That's who they can be. So it'll be very interesting to see. I did look up the bracket, and it does look like they are going at in the TBT quarterfinals tonight at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
This will be Carmen's Crew, the Buckeye alum, against Heartfire, which is the number 1 seed, and I believe the defending champs. That is a team, they're not attached to a certain school. That's G League guys.
Overseas guys, maybe?
Former college, maybe some of those guys, but a lot of but they obviously have put it together before because they won it last summer.
Okay. If you want to watch it tonight, it's on FS2.
There we go. 7 o'clock.
Good luck to the former Buckeye, Sully and the boys. Hopefully they get it done.
Yeah, they got tested against the Red Scare. They came back in that game. They were up big, and then they came back, and I think they won by 9, and that game went to the was it overtime? I think
Elam ending?
Well,
that kick in?
I think there was an overtime in that.
Yeah, whatever their kind of extra period is. I think it was 71-60 they ended up winning by.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds right. All right, we'll come back with Sports Center update here, top of the hour, and then we get into college football. The big heavyweights or the field? We'll decide next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. Austin Ward here. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy, because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy amongst your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken 180 is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist bumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyond's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA. Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and our summer clearance event starts now with 0% financing on the 2024 Toyota Tundra. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for details. Hurry in. Offer ends July 31st. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
With approved credit, 0% up to 48 months, tax title, and $250 doc fee not included.
This is Paul Keels for Nature Stone Flooring, a unique blend of natural stone and their specially formulated epoxy, expertly installed over existing concrete. Nature Stone is the only flooring solution for garages, basements, and indoor spaces. Family owned and operated since 1989, no other company or product can match the features, benefits, and unconditional warranty of an authentic Nature Stone floor. Visit naturestone.com today and schedule your cost estimate. Act now and save up to 50% off any Nature Stone floor. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. How about these Reds bats today? I know Matty Ice is liking it. He's got the cap on today. They're laying it to the Atlanta Braves down at their house right now. Spencer Steer had a triple Almost an inside the Parker, adds a double as well. Ellie De La Cruz blasts a home run, 402 feet. It's 9-4 in the fifth. Reds all over. The Guardians took game 2 from the Tigers last night. Game 3 of that 4-game set is tonight at 6:40. Tanner Bybee is on the hill. Some other scores. Day baseball right now. Pirates leading the Cardinals 5-0, top of the fifth. Twins leading the Phillies 1-0. That one is in the bottom of the third. And of course, tonight, big night in the Arena District. MLS All-Stars taking on the Liga MX All-Stars. This one sponsored by Nature Stone. Schedule the free cost estimate at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, final hour, Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes. President of Hockey Ops, GM Don Waddell, jumps on the program at 2:33. Talks about the hire and the roster that he can put together in year one for Dean Evison, the Dean machine. The Dean and the Don. Here we go.
Double D.
Tandem jump. So you told me about this. I don't love cringy things. I have a hard time watching them, listening to them. I feel bad for people sometimes. I'm kind of the big underdog guy, and I feel like that it's just hard for me sometimes to listen to this stuff. So... But when you're an alum, I think you should be able to ad-lib your way through it. I think you kind of have the answers to the test being an alum.
Before you go any further, let me ask you this question, Big Dog. If we polled right now 10 Big Ten football fans, how many of those 10 do you believe would be able to name UCLA's new head football coach?
I put the over-under on it at... You're saying hardcore Big Ten football fans?
Yeah.
Like hardcore fans?
They just have a team in the Big Ten. They root for a team in the Big Ten, but they know who the new head coach is for UCLA.
The fact that it's a new team in the Big Ten makes it a little more difficult. I would probably put the over-under on it at 1.5 people.
That's exactly where I was at. And I think I would take the under.
Yeah, less, so 10% or less.
Would know who this guy is right now.
So he's the newest head coach of the Bruins, and he was hired away from an NFL gig. When Chip Kelly's came to Ohio State, he was a longtime UCLA assistant. He knows the program, as they say in Napoleon Dynamite, backwards and front, and he's supposed to take them back to prominence, right? And get the recruiting going and all that. Now, before you play it, his name is Deshaun Foster. NFL fans might certainly remember him from his playing career in the pros. He was a second-round pick in the 2002 draft. That's a long time ago, but he got injured, but he kind of had a really promising start. He was a good running back. He really was. I mean, a lot of people, just injuries and all that really kind of got him. And he made his money in the NFL, at least relatively speaking, had a 3-year, $15 million contract. We're going back almost 18 years ago. And then in 2008, he signed a 1-year deal worth almost $2 million to back up Frank Gore.
Okay.
With the Niners. So by the way, he played in all the games. He was kind of a combo back, running back. He could catch passes. And so Deshaun Foster had himself a little bit of a 5-6 year NFL career after being at UCLA and being very good. And I wish him well. I want him to do well. I hate when this stuff happens. I don't know why this happened.
I love when this stuff happens.
I mean, this is
because here's the thing. Just what you're about to hear, I think we can all sit back and say, I've had a moment like that where you've embarrassed yourself publicly, or you've embarrassed yourself in front of a girl or a guy. That's why I laugh at these things, because we've all been there. But the out of the gate impression when you're trying to represent your university, it's not great, AR, when you hear this.
I'm wondering real fast, though, before you play it, because I'm actually working myself up to it. And I don't think I'm overselling it. It's not that he said anything that was embarrassing. It's what he didn't say is what's embarrassing. So maybe that's good. If you told me that I would, if I could pick either.
You don't have to cover for him. You're not his agent. I know you got a big heart. You don't got to cover for him. DJ Baker, spin the track, please.
How you guys doing? I'm happy to be here. Glad to be a part of this great conference. Finally putting two great emblems together, UCLA and the Big Ten. We're a school that's won, 123 championships, so this fits us being right in this conference. Football-wise, we're just excited. I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in LA. It's us and USC. We
Oh, please. No.
Come on, big dog.
I'm just basically excited, really. That's it. Any questions?
Let me tell you something. There are brain cramps, and then there are brain cramps.
That's tough, man.
And when you see the gears grinding and him just completely frozen, it makes me feel like either A, he over-prepared and he couldn't remember what he wanted to say, that he had scripted in his head, or that he severely under-prepared and felt like, as a former player and coach, I can go up and just ad-lib a little friendly greeting and then go.
Just wing it. I feel like that's what he did.
Just, see what happens. So we're just going to wing it? There's a big difference between winging it and seeing what happens.
Exactly. He just wanted to see what happens.
He was freestyling off the top of the dome there.
We're in L.A.? It's in the name. I don't think we need a refresher course on where UCLA is. It's all ball bearings these days.
Yeah,
I feel
tough.
like
that's tough.
This isn't some weird directional school that he needed to give us a capsule. You even went with how many championships?
I like that.
We're in L.A.?
He had to let you know.
To live and die in L.A.?
In case you didn't know, now you know.
There's a great scene in Defending Your Life, a movie with Al Brooks, where he goes and he sees this comedy show, and the comedian asks him, "So how'd you die?" And he goes, "Like you on stage." That's exactly what happened.
Excitement really didn't come through there, did it?
Yeah, if you're the president,
he's lost in the excitement.
That's tough. And I feel like, I'm sure his SID was standing off the side of the stage like, come on, man. Like, I know we talked about a couple of these things. It wasn't clicking. I don't know how the rest of the press conference went. Maybe after that, he crushed the questions and he shined a good light on the beginning of what was a bit of a dark time there. But yeah, the initial statement, the initial representation of who you are as a football program, as the new head coach, that's as tough as it gets.
Here's the good news for him, if there is any. And I'm being honest about this. I feel this can only ingratiate him more with his team, because they're going to give it to him. And it's going to be great. And they're going to make it the biggest joke about the coach. They're only going to grow closer from it. Now, whether they'll be good, I don't know. But I do think when you have that kind of a human moment and you're getting the awkwardness and the cringiness and all that, and everyone is dying in their seats. They want to help him. In fact, you talked about the guys, the people with the university on the side, like they're probably thinking to themselves, when do we go out there and save him? How long does this dead air have to go for us to say, we got to go get him? Like, it's like a manager and a pitcher on a mound. He's given up. I mean, somebody go save him.
Yeah, it's Frankie Montas today.
I feel like whoever was in the battery of that situation needed to go out and talk to him. But this is an All-American. He was an NFL. He was a very good player in the NFL. He went to coach his alma mater. He gets named this year in February to do it. And maybe he was nervous. I get it. But it's one of those things where I feel like if he now leans into this human moment, I think it can only be good for him.
You have to. You don't want to push back on that, but you just hope that the players aren't like, or the fan base like, dang, we got, did we bring in the right guy? And like I said, maybe the press conference after that was 10 out of 10. I got to give him that. But yeah, that's just one of the, you talk about second-hand embarrassment. I did feel for him, but I laugh because we've all been there. I say stupid stuff on the air all the time, and I'm driving home and I'm like, it's kind of in that same realm where you just make yourself look bad. It happens.
Absolutely. No, it does happen. And I almost feel like it probably is better than the saying something embarrassing is probably better than, it's probably worse than what he did, which is just freeze in his tracks and not know what to say. I just thought he might be able to like a running back. Like if I was talking to him now, just casually, I'd say you get the toss pitch to the right. The defense has read the play. Just go down. And what he did was he danced around in the backfield and kept going backwards. And everybody in the stands and every coach was like, quit losing us more yards. Just go down.
I don't know.
Take a knee.
I don't know.
That's what happened.
Real quick, pay off all your tees because we got some things to do before we get to the back end of the break because we got a prize to give away too.
I'm lost.
Sam Acho got you going about something.
Well, Sam Acho said something very interesting on Bet ESPN yesterday. They offered him Ohio State and Georgia.
Them dogs.
Or the field.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting there going, like, if I was asked that question, give me Ohio State and Georgia.
No brainer for you.
No, I don't care about expanded playoff. I don't care the 12 are getting in. You're giving me both versus the field? Now, here's the funny part.
Yeah.
He didn't take it. He took the field. He took everybody else, and all you need is one to win. But if you said Ohio State or Georgia or the field, I'm probably going to take the field. I know that Ohio State guys are going natty or bust, but we know how hard it is to win these things. And either Georgia will have to get through Ohio State or somebody else, or Ohio State will have to get through Georgia or somebody else. I would not feel that comfortable if you just gave me one chip versus the field. But if you're giving me the combo platter, to me, was a no-brainer, and he went the other way.
Bet365 AR is telling us that Georgia's at plus 300 right now. They're the favorite, and Ohio State's plus 400.
Which, by the way, is incredible value right now in Ohio State, because everywhere outside, I'm glad Bet365 did this, because most places are throwing them out at 350 or 300.
Okay. Yeah. And then after you get past Ohio State, it's a pretty significant gap because you go from plus 400 for them Buckeyes to plus 800 for Texas and Oregon. My thing is I would roll with you because I feel confident in maybe 2 to 3 other teams that I believe can be the last team standing. There's not enough. Like the Ole Misses of the world are getting some love. That seems to be kind of an off-season darling for some people. But when you talk about like an LSU team at 14-1 behind Bama, Nussmeier doesn't do it for me. They lost a ton on offense, and their offensive coordinator is now the offensive coordinator for Marcus Freeman in Notre Dame. So, yeah, I would take Ohio State and Georgia as well.
No
the field,
doubt.
I don't have enough confidence to go into that pool right now.
I mean, certainly. Could you lose this if there's a key injury or if something happens, certainly in the playoff? But I feel like the other part of this equation, and maybe I know maybe why he did, and here's the other thing I could bark back at.
Yeah.
There's no true elimination game right now for the big boys. And that's why I keep leaning into I'd rather have it this way for Ohio State. The expanded playoff to me gave the big boys with all the talent what the little guy doesn't want them to have, which is a get out of jail free card. Like that's the last team you want to see circling back with the, a lost season? Not really. 2 losses, we can still win it all. Let's go do it. Like, this is the team.
Maybe
the last
3.
Depending
on who you lose to.
I guess. I mean, that, it depends how the whole season goes. Could you have a 3-loss team get in as a 12th seed?
Well, I'm curious to see what the committee does with, like, maybe the team, that's 9-3, but plays in the Big Ten or the SEC. That they had to go through a tougher road as opposed to a Big 12 team that's a second in that conference that didn't win.
Committee's so unpredictable.
Who do they take? They are, but that's just the scenarios for me that are going to be interesting. But I hear what you're saying for sure, man.
Yeah, because you don't know whether they're going to hold the losses as the anchor or prop them up with the wins.
Correct.
And that's the human nature in the committee. And then it just depends on how the voting goes. But the weird part about this year is that he took the field versus 2 teams that can lose a big game. Ohio State could lose to Oregon, still win the title. Ohio State could lose a big game, a Big Ten championship game, and still win it all.
They could lose to Oregon and Michigan and still possibly have a chance to win the title.
And so if you're telling me that I not only get all the talent, but I get them in a make-good situation as well if things went south, it's just too scary.
Let's get out some tickets right now because the Pro Football Hall of Fame game is coming up next week. It is the Houston Texans. They're taking on the Chicago Bears. Winner gets 2 tickets to next week's game at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Tickets are also available at profootballhof.com/tickets. 614-821-9710 is Bake's hotline number over in his studio. AR, I think you got the question for the wonderful
Here's
folks.
the question. Adam Schefter took a cab from Detroit to New York. I guessed at how much it cost. We don't know how much it cost. We know it's over this, but I guessed the number. What did I guess? 821-9710 is the number. You'll go to the Hall of Fame game a week from tomorrow in Canton. We'll come back with pre-snap reads, and a former NFL quarterback has a sleeper team to challenge the Chiefs. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
My name is Dr. Ray Tessner. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Columbus, Ohio. I've been involved with taking care of athletes and aging athletes for over 35 years.
Dr. Ray Tessner knows a thing or two about joint pain. And one thing he's a big believer in right now is regenerative medicine.
The advantage that I see in a regenerative medicine that there's really no downside to it.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in this exciting way to deal with joint pain, using natural concentrated healing agents from your own body to go to work on achy joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue.
It's one of the best management tools that's come around in a long time.
Tired of that pain in your knees, hips, back, and shoulder? Before you go under the knife, get a second opinion from QC Kinetics. You really can get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
QC Kinetics has become a leader in the regenerative medicine field.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island. This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
Underneath our red awning at Sheetz, we make the magic happen. So when you visit our new location in Columbus, go ahead and get a little crazy, like adding mott sticks as a burger topping, or putting espresso in your milkshake, or picking up $65 worth of fried food curbside at 2 a.m. 24/7, 365. Sheetz, located at 4881 Roberts Road in Columbus, is ready to serve you what you're really craving. Why the Sheetz not make a convenience store your new favorite hangout spot?
The Fan is your home for the Dallas Cowboys.
No, we're not. You can't say that. Take two.
The Fan is your home of the Buckeyes. Yes, that's right. Same thing, but more playoff success. Now give Big Voice Guy another brandy. Thank you. The Fan.
Driving this summer in a new Honda. Act now during Honda's summer event to save thousands with low 1.9% financing. Full inventory is here. Cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, and hybrids. With hybrids, the battery charges as you drive. Don't miss Honda's summer event with big savings on gas or hybrid, like the 2024 Honda Ridgeline, now with low 1.9% financing. Search your local Honda dealer.
See dealer for financing details. For well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 9/3/24.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers, like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, Ohio! Grab the whole family and head to the Ohio State Fair July 24th through August 4th. Experience the food, entertainment, hands-on activities, livestock animals, and so much more. Tickets on sale now at ohiostatefair.com.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly cloudy today with a few afternoon showers, high 87. Cooler and less humid tomorrow with a high of 84. There is still a 20% chance of rain on your Thursday. Friday and Saturday are gorgeous with highs in the mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, first little Bet365 time.
Because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5.
All right, so won the bet yesterday. Skeens, no walks. He didn't get the win. He did have 8 Ks.
Tough day. He pitched 8 in the third innings.
Got no support.
Nothing.
None. Right.
That's brutal.
I think I'm going to do a combo same-game parlay on Bet365 with the Guards and Tigers tonight.
Okay.
I have both pitchers going. I own both these guys in fantasy, Flaherty and Bybee. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to parlay both unders on strikeouts. So Flaherty under 5.5 and Bybee under 6.5.
Yeah, this is the guy that Guardian fans who you're watching for Detroit is a guy you hope you can get, but I don't see that happening at the trade deadline. I like where you're at with that. I'm going to go over to the West Coast, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Brent Rooker because this guy has absolutely been on one. I know Bake wants him to come to Cincinnati. Price tag may be a little too steep for his big dog, but give me an anytime dinger for Brent Rooker right now. He hit one last night. He is on my fantasy team, too, so I appreciate his services. Plus 450 is the juice on that. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app. Today, 21 plus only. You must be present in Ohio if you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
He's an all-star this year, right? Or last year. Last year, I'm sorry. Right?
I don't know. I
think he was.
Maybe he was.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe he was. Real quick, I saw this. Schefter just tweeted this out. Joe Burrow and his new look have taken to the practice field and the Bengals themselves have proclaimed him Slim Shiesty.
Yeah.
Slim Shiesty has arrived. So we're going from Joe Shiesty, combining the two, and now we got Slim Shiesty with the blonde hair. And Cody Rhodes, the WWE heavyweight champion, shouted him out on Twitter yesterday because Cody Rhodes
Rhodes?
He may his son. That is his son. He may have the worst tattoo in the world with that neck tat, but the blonde hair, Cody Rhodes is supporting Joey B, or as I should call him now, Slim Shiesty. He's in the building. And he's on the field right now as we speak.
Brian Hoyer played a lot of football. Played for a lot of teams. I don't even know what the over-under is. Is it 10, 10.5 on teams he played for?
That's a great question.
It's somewhere in there. Lakewood kid, North Olmsted he was raised, but went to St. Ignatius. Now doing media, and he talked about the sleeper team to take down the Chiefs.
I think, a sleeper team, the more I've been doing some of this media stuff, you watch, and I think you look at the Houston Texans and what they've done and what CJ Stroud did as a rookie last year. I think that's a sleeper. I mean, if he continues to progress on his track, they add Stephon Diggs, they have a good defense, you have a really good young coach who was under Coach Sala, D'Amico Ryans, who comes from San Francisco. I saw Nick Caserio at Tom Brady's Hall of Fame introduction here in New England, and I said, man, Nick, you're just killing it. Pick after pick, he's killing it, and it's always so good for me to see a guy he was the first guy that I ever met with the Patriots when I was coming out of the NFL. So to see him now as a GM, and last year, he drafts the offensive rookie of the year, the defensive the rookie year in the same draft, and the success that they had. I really, really like, CJ Stroud and how he played last year. And I think if he takes another step, this is an opportunity. It just takes one game. If he has a great game and they shut down Mahomes in the playoffs, you're one game away from going to the Super Bowl.
Brian,
here's the only problem with his take, and I think you and I are going to react the same way.
They're not a sleeper.
They're not even close to a sleeper. If he would have said this last year,
yes,
I would have been sending him a prize.
No question.
You cannot come out and climb aboard the hype train of the NFL and then say they're a sleeper.
No.
They're probably the most hyped team in the NFL this year.
No question. They're one of them, big dog. They've got the 5th best odds to come out of the AFC this year. They're in the top 5 according to Vegas. He's new to this, though. He's a rookie to the media game, so we'll allow it. But they're not a sleeper. The sleepers in the AFC for me would be like if he said, you know what? I'm buying what the Colts are doing. 28-1 to come out of the AFC, or a little lighter odds. I'm in on Harbaugh. The Chargers at 18-1. That to me is a sleeper, not CJ.
Or saying something like, "This is the year Miami actually does it. This is the year they take them all down."
That sounds better than what he said with Houston. But yeah, they've got him at plus 800 behind the Chiefs, 325, Ravens plus 475, Bills plus 700, and so they've actually got the 4th best odds because the Bills and the Bengals are tied at plus 700 to come out of the AFC.
Pittsburgh, one of those teams you could say maybe would be categorized as a sleeper.
I think we heard that was Kay Adams from her show Up and Adams. She did you heard her, I think, a little chuckle there when he said it because she was probably like, "Come on, Brian."
Really? Because I thought maybe she was like, she's like, "No, he's killing it." Like, I didn't.
No, before that, you heard her kind of pop up.
Oh, you think she was thinking the way we were thinking?
Initially, when he said Houston, I think she was on the same page as we were. Like, really?
What did you say, by the way, the over-under on teams Brian Hoyer played was?
10.5.
It's 11. You were right on almost there.
But you know what I need you to
which
look
side
up?
I was going to be on.
We love playing this game on the show. Can you do a quick Google search on his career earnings as a quarterback that's bounced around the league? Because that's a sneaky good job to have. Or he had some spots to where he was the guy, and then as you guys just laid out, you play for 11 squads. I have to imagine he's probably living pretty well. What do you got, babe?
Just a quick search here, $36,128,161.
That'll work. And he's got a ring to go with it.
That's right. He's a Super Bowl champion.
He's a Super Bowl champion. $30+ million.
In the ugliest Super Bowl ever.
Oh, my gosh.
Worst. I was that. Trust me. By the way, I think that was the year that Brady's jersey didn't get stolen that year. That was the year I think you had to start swiping in and out as a media member because that was Mercedes
13-3.
Yeah, that's right.
That's just gross.
Yeah, it was.
That's gross.
3-3 going into the 4th. Yeah, just riveting.
By the way, and it's just funny how we always talk about quarterbacks, right? And Brady's the guy, and he's got 7. Like that's the defense saving your you know what. That
listen,
day, because you just didn't have it.
Yeah, and I feel good. Look at where Goff is now off of that Super Bowl. Look where he is now. Incredible. Who knew that I guessed $1,000 on Schefter's cab ride from Detroit to New York?
That would be Sean from Columbus.
Well done, Sean. Because here's where I was going with it. If it's about 600-700 miles, I was guessing $1 a mile, and then adding on whatever that charge would be. And he said low. I'm low. Now, the logical thing would say, why didn't they rent a car? And then the answer would be...
There were none.
Probably none, or he didn't want to do the driving.
There's been none anywhere.
Okay.
I wanted to ask him, too, like, how many stops did we make? Did we grab a quarter pounder or two along the way? Like, what do we do to
Deserved
eat?
You probably had
more follow-ups.
Probably had to pay for the cab driver's food,
no
right?
Question. You have to.
Oh, you would do that, especially if you're him. You know, you want to take care of the guy.
There's no way it was less than $2,000, right?
I agree. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. I mean, and then whatever tip he wants to give him. That would be robust.
It's a big tip.
Oh, believe me. We'll come back. Don Waddell, GM, President of Hockey Ops. A lot of questions going into the first year for Dean Evison. We'll ask him next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Hi, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Need a perfect gift? Check out the new line of Glock watches and other stunning jewelry at Worthington Jewelers. Make every occasion sparkle with Worthington Jewelers, where exceptional gifts await.
Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and our summer clearance event starts now with 0% financing on the 2024 Toyota Tundra. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for details. Hurry in. Offer ends July 31st. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
With approved credit, 0% up to 48 months, tax, title, and $250 doc fee not included.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spending the money to replace our home's windows is rarely something we get excited about. We usually do it because our energy bills suck or our current windows, well, they're too messed up. But in working with the local Pella Columbus team, my eyes have been opened. New windows can legitimately change the entire look of your home. They've got windows and colors and styles like I've never seen, and they can change everything. So go see my friends at PellaColumbus.com or check them out at their brand new Polaris showroom.
We know your golf game is ugly, but your course doesn't have to be. Experience the natural beauty of Delaware Golf Club today. Delaware Golf Club is now open to the public and only 10 miles up the road from 270. For the best rates, book your tee time online at DelawareGolfClub.com.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444-ROOF.
You've waited all summer, and now is the time to take action at Buckeye Lake Marina. Join Buckeye Lake Marina on Saturday, July 27th from 9 to 5 for their massive summer boat extravaganza. Door prizes and giveaways, free food and refreshments. There will also be dock demonstrations with every available boat in the water. Take a ride aboard the latest and greatest new and used boats offered on Buckeye Lake. Don't miss Buckeye Lake Marina's summer boat extravaganza this Saturday, July 27th from 9 to 5. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for details.
Hey, it's Anthony for the Good Feet store. 3 words for me: pain-free summer. Spent probably 30 hours walking around the Memorial Tournament and felt awesome with my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store in my everyday kicks. Sure, every now and then we all get random foot pain from pickleball or golf or just being a human being. Having my personally fit arch supports in my shoes has made a massive difference. And even right after I put them in, didn't take long to feel much more supported and aligned, and it's so easy to just move them into any pair. Before I had them, I dreaded being on my feet for any length of time. Well, you have nothing to lose but the pain, as they say. It's a free fitting and test walk. Try them for yourself. See the difference it can make. It did for me. And best of all, you can wear them home. 2 locations on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road, or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet store, America's arch supports experts.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Their cholesterol numbers put all other Fan hosts to shame. You are listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, welcome back. He is the president of hockey ops and the GM of your Columbus Blue Jackets. He's been a very busy man. He's gotten some big decisions behind him now, so hopefully he can look forward. He's Don Waddell. Don, welcome back to the program. Let's see you get the job. You've got to find a house. You've got to find a coach. Which one of those was more challenging?
By far the coach. I'm fortunate to have a wife that's done this. This is our 23rd house we bought together, so we actually bought a house the first trip, and talking about it, we're moving in today.
Oh, that's awesome. Congrats, and thank you for taking a few minutes away from unpacking for us. I think that this is a very interesting time. You introduced a new coach yesterday. Listen, I know at the beginning you said you wanted experience, and clearly you've got a guy here, a lot as a player, little bit as a head coach. Give us a little insight into why you think Dean Evison is the right man at the right time for this team.
Well, as I said early on in the process, our timetable wasn't didn't have to happen immediately. We were the only team looking for a head coach. We had the draft to prepare for free agency, and it really gave us time to do a lot of due diligence. And I think between Rick Nash and Chris Clark and John Davison, we probably talked to hundreds of people because, and the nice thing about Rick is Rick played with a lot of guys that and knew a lot of guys that had played for Dean. So, we really did our due diligence for a few weeks there. And, Dean brings not only the experience of being a head coach in the NHL for 3.5 years, but, also head coach in the American League for 4 or 5 years and assistant coach under some very good coaches in Washington, Barry Trotz and so forth. So, but when we started talking to Dean, and I was talking to these guys early on, I just didn't get into a formal process. I explained to everybody what we were doing. But every time I talked to Dean, I walked away saying he gets it. He's got the drive, and he's got the passion, and he knows what our team needs. And then formally, when we brought him in and sat down with them and talked with them, it became, we had 5 people that talked to him, and every one of us, when we got together, said 100% he's the guy. So that it made me feel comfortable that that everybody was on board with this decision, and now we're moving forward.
Would you be comfortable in saying how many years you gave him?
We call it multi-years. You know what happens with your media. If we say 2, we say 4. That whatever that time's going to expire. You're always all over me about what you're going to do with the coach. So right now, we'll call it multi, and at some point, we may tell you.
Well, and the only reason I ask is because it kind of gives the fan base an idea of where you think the expectations are, how much runway you have to give a brand new coach with this roster. What are your expectations for him in year 1 even?
Well, we got to be better. And, it starts, Dean and I have spent a lot of time, and again, tonight we're having dinner together. It's, we know what's happened in the past, but we also, and I've said this from day one, that we have some good veterans here and some really good young players. We just have to find the right chemistry, and it all starts in the locker room with guys believing in themselves and forget about individual stats. We got to play together as a team, and we got to play hard every day. As Dean has said, there's no excuse for hard work. There's no excuse for not communicating. And so the expectations are we have to be better. Where that takes us this first year, we'll know in the next 4 or 5 months. But we fully expect we'll be a better hockey club when we hit the ice come October for our opening of the season.
That's awesome, Don. And, it's great that you and I think a lot of people feel good about Dean, but there was, a little chatter out there about what happened with maybe Todd McClellan. Is there anything you would like to clear up about maybe some of the reports that were out there as to why maybe that didn't come around full circle?
Well, the only thing I can say is we never offered the job to anybody but Dean. We talked to a lot of people, and just so you know, when I go into these negotiations and interviews, I always want to know what the expectations are from a financial standpoint, because if it's not going to work for me or the Columbus Blue Jackets, we're just wasting everybody's time. So I always talk about that before we get into the formal process. So, in this case, it just wasn't going to take it to the next step. With Todd, I know Todd very well. I tried to hire him one other time. I have a lot of respect for him, but it was just him and I came to the conclusion that it wasn't going to work to take it to the next step, and so he bailed out, and we continued our process. And it didn't change our thinking at all. At one time, we were going to bring 3 or 4 guys in, and we ended up only bringing a few guys in. And Dean certainly put himself right at the front of the line.
Don Waddell with us, President of Hockey Ops, GM for the CBJ on Rothman and Ice. So, listen, we got a glimpse of Kirill Marchenko, and I'll ask you, do you think you'll avoid arbitration? Is he worthy of a long-term deal from your view and the hockey people you speak with?
The long-term deal would be there if we could. The problem with the long-term deal is, what's the upside? If he was taking a deal that we were comfortable with, but we all think there's upside here even to go, but we don't know what the ceiling is. So it's a catch-22 for both of us. Dan Milson and I, who've talked to the agent, is you got to be careful, because one of us could get burned pretty badly, or we both could be happy with it. So I think as we sit here today, I think a shorter term deal, probably a 2-year deal, makes the most sense, because if he becomes a player that he feels he can and the agent feels he can, then he'll get rewarded and get paid. And I think that's the best way to look at it. I would never mind, and if you look, my history with a lot of players that I signed for long-term deals, I don't have any problem rewarding players that have proven it and do it. And, maybe it's the contract looks a lot better from his standpoint after a couple of years.
You're confident you'll avoid arbitration or no?
Well, arbitration, the player files for arbitration for a reason, because sooner or later somebody's going to make a decision whether you go or not. We're still talking on a daily basis. The goal, I think, for both of us is to try to get a deal done prior to arbitration. I never see a lot of benefit. The only benefit of arbitration is you're going to end up with a contract, and somebody's going to be probably happy and somebody's probably not going to be happy with it. So if we can come to a common ground before that, I think that makes most sense. But, we still have a week or so to figure that out.
Don, I want to ask you about Sean Monahan. You bring him here now to be a Jacket. What did you like about him as a player that you think can help you out, and how did that deal come about?
Yeah, it's a player that we're very familiar with. I'm very familiar with over the years. And, a couple of years ago, we all watched him, and he was slowing down and worried about, how he looked on the ice. Well, back up, over a year ago, he had both hips surgeries done. And last year, if you look at his performance last year, he ended up playing 83 regular season games, because with the trade, he played an extra game in Winnipeg and played all the playoff games. So health got erased from everybody's mind. Now you look at his production, and I think he had almost 60 points, 59 points, starting off in Montreal. And then when he went to Winnipeg, continued on. So knowing the history of him and how good of a player he's been, the Johnny Gaudreau thing played somewhat of a factor that, we have Johnny on a long-term contract. We need him to be as good as he can, but we also have to provide players for him to be able to do that. And we felt that Sean gave us that opportunity. And again, we're all saying they're going to play together, and I assume they might, they might not. But I thought that Sean gave us that opportunity to give him a number one center right now, not taken away from any of our guys. I think they're going to get there, from Tilly and these guys. But in the near future, we just felt comfortable that Sean could help our hockey club and help us win games.
We'll do another 60 seconds here, Don, and then we'll cut you loose. Really appreciate it. Don Waddell with us, giving some great information to Jacket fans. Can you provide any clarity on Patrik Laine's situation? I know he couldn't be moved until he's released from the player assistance program, but now that you've hired a coach, can you give us any update on the holding pattern you're in, the team's in with Patrik Laine?
Yeah, I've talked to a numerous amount of teams, and, I told them all, I don't, we get no information from the NHL or the NHLPA doctors. I get most of my information through the agent who talks to Patrick on a daily basis. So we're all hoping, we keep hearing that they've had some great meetings, and it could be at any time that he'd get released from the program. And, it's not that you can't trade a player when he's in the program. It's just nobody wants to trade for a player when he's in the program, because, there's still risk involved. It could come back and look pretty bad. And I've said to everybody, it's I'm right up front about these kind of things. I don't know much about the situation other than what everybody's told me and the agents told me. So the best thing is we want the best health for Patrick, and once he comes out of the program, we'll be dealing with it, and hopefully we'll find a good solution for all of us.
All right, I lied. One more. What were the scouts, people telling you, doctors, about Caden Lindstrom? We had him in studio. What an impressive young man. The risk, I guess, before the draft was that he had some health issues in the back and all that. How confident were you that those things are well behind him?
Well, all we can do is get all the medical records, including MRIs for the last 3-4 months, and turn it over to our medical team, who obviously does a great job for the Blue Jackets. And everybody's comfortable that at his age and his strength and his work ethic that this will not be an issue down the road. That, yes, he's going through some rehab right now, but he's doing a lot of stuff. I saw him yesterday in the weight room. So I think what we look at is him as a player, when you got a size of that type of body, plays all avenues of the game, plays a 200-foot game. I always talk about a 200-foot game. Not everybody does, but he can play offensively, but he's also very good defensively. He's got some size and strength to him. So when you're looking about down the middle, those are the type of players that you certainly are going to build around. And if he becomes the player that we all feel he can be, I think we've hit a home run here.
No doubt. Boy, this was great. Thanks for taking time for us. Answered some really tough questions, some candid questions, answers from you, and look forward to visiting down the road. Thanks, Don. Be well.
Always a pleasure to be with you. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Don Waddell, President of Hockey Ops, GM for the Jackets. A lot of good stuff there as he tries to get this team prepared for Dean Evison to coach. We'll come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Colin Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Universal Windows Direct is the best. Why? Number one, they have the best technology. They have window systems that last up to 5 times longer than the other jabronis. Plus, they back it up with a true lifetime warranty for as long as you own your home and a 20-year warranty to the next homeowner. And how about the deals? 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years. Restrictions apply because they always do. Call them today, 614-502-5220. Schedule your free in-home estimate. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Ready to be the change and have a positive impact on your community? Consider joining the Columbus Division of Police. Starting pay is $70,000 plus, growing to 6 figures after 4 years of service. We offer paid vacations, paid holidays, and health insurance. Do you aspire to complete your degree? We offer 100% tuition reimbursement after you complete your first year of service. Contact the CPD recruiting unit at jobs@columbuspolice.org or apply online at columbus.gov/government/jobs. The City of Columbus is an equal opportunity employer.
Ignite your Irish spirit at the Dublin Irish Festival, August 2nd through 4th. Prepare to be blown away as you explore one of the top Irish festivals in the US, drawing over 100,000 guests to Dublin, Ohio each year. Enjoy 7 music stages, 60 acts and more than 800 performers, epic Irish entertainment, great food and more. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Tomorrow is National Chili Dog Day, and there's no better place to celebrate than Skyline Chili. Gather your friends and family and head to your neighborhood Skyline for those world-famous Skyline cheese conies. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for my crew at Valley Ford of Columbus. If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle without breaking the bank, well, you need to get to Valley Ford for a great selection of certified pre-owned Ford Blue Advantage cars, trucks, and SUVs. Each one of these vehicles features a minimum 139-point inspection, and they're also backed by a 14-day or 1,000-mile money-back guarantee. Get the better deal and a better pre-owned Ford without any worries. Keep on trucking at Valley Ford of Columbus.
Vehicle must be returned within 14 days, 1,000 miles, whichever comes first from the original sales date and mileage as stated on bill of sale, and return in same condition as sold. Other restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 $10,000 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes great pride in providing great customer experience and quality product to every job they do. From the first phone call to the end of your project, they'll know who you are. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks. Experience the Sports Lodge mentality.
Bake, take us home, bud.
Guys, today is National Drive-Through Day. Now, this can be any kind of drive-through, like a drive-through that sells beer and pop, a drive-through at a fast food place, or even like driving through and dropping off your mail. What is your favorite drive-through?
I wasn't expecting that last one from you, dropping off.
I thought he was going to drop off something at the pool, I thought. Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
is that the drive-through you were talking about?
I've only went swimming a couple times this year, so.
Is this going to be what I like to call a splash and go?
Where you at with this?
So I told you what I did or what I do when I go to Chicago. When I drive there, I make big mistakes sometimes in the drive-through. Like sometimes I'll want to eat something a little not as fast food, so I'll try Subway in the car. That's a loser. Don't ever do that, ever. Like, I don't even care if you're just unfolding the paper and using the paper as the protector. That's not good. There's only one answer, and it's Smoothie King. You get yourself. By the way, I think they may have, and I haven't confirmed this. They may have even gone to the biggest size as a 42-ouncer.
The bigger, the better.
And that gets me from here to Indianapolis, no problems.
Okay.
And then there's a couple more I can hit getting close to Maryville. To me, it's the perfect. It just doesn't. I can't make it last. That's the only problem.
Slurping that thing up.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go with something that brings me some good nostalgia. Like, there's been some great late nights in my past rolling through a Taco Bell drive-thru. There's something about going out for the night, being out with the gang, and then ending your night with a Crunchwrap Supreme and a soft taco.
In the car, though?
No, at the crib. You come home, you throw on the 3X hoodie, and you just lay out the whole Taco Bell spread, a whole bunch of hot sauce, and give me the Baja Blast and the cinnamon twist.
That's not it.
There's something about the Taco Bell experience. Like, when you're just late night, and you're crunching on some tacos and stuff, I got to go with Taco Bell.
I thought he said there's nothing like driving home and trying to eat a Mexican pizza and drive the car at the same time.
Not a big Mexican pizza guy.
It's probably as bad as your Subway.
Good. Yes, exactly.
You can't handle the truth. The Reds and Braves, they got postponed last night, so they are wrapping up right now game one of a doubleheader today. Reds leading that one 9-4. Tell the truth. Should baseball go back to having more doubleheaders?
I would like more of them throughout the week. I don't love them on the weekends. I love like a good Friday night, Saturday night, 7:05, 7:10 first pitch. But yeah, when you're talking, like on a Tuesday or Wednesday, yeah, let's get two in. Let's play two. So I like them. I like more of them throughout the week.
When Ernie Banks uttered those famous words you just said, let's play two, I feel like he meant 9-inning games. And so if you're telling me, are the doubleheaders we're talking about going back to 7-inning deals?
I think they've ever been
either
7,
way. Yeah, they did 7 for a while,
Yeah, they
7
did.
innings.
When?
This was a couple years ago.
Oh, where have I been at?
But we
Okay.
can, I prefer the 9-inning. But
Yeah, like what are we doing? This isn't Little League. We're playing 27 outs.
That's my point.
Yeah.
If we're going to do it, then do it right. But if you're bringing back 7-inning games, 7-inning doubleheaders to, quote, speed everything up, because that's our world, everything has to get pushed up. Summer goes into whatever. Where are we pushing that thing? Back to spring and all that? No.
Halloween stuff in the store.
Exactly.
Did you say I know my truth?
I know my truth.
Halloween candy in late July.
I'm not mad at more Reese stuff popping up, though. Like
You
the
can
Reese
get that
stuff,
at any time.
I know, but it's something about the Halloween vibes that I like, man. The Reese's is
in July.
We just had Don Waddell on, and he talked a little bit about expectations this year. Today's fan poll over at 971thefan.com. How long will it take new Jackets head coach Dean Evison to get the CBJ back into the playoffs? 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, or 4 or more?
1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4. I feel like I was at 3. I was in the 3rd season. I just don't know about the goaltending yet. I just can't quite get that this team is a 90-plus point team that's going to get in as a wild card or something. Like, in that conference, that division, I'm going to be safe, and I'm going to set 3rd year.
Yeah.
I know that's not what anybody wants to hear.
No, but I think that's where I'm at, too, because my mind went to Caden Lindstrom, and he's going to have to be a big piece of that, in my opinion, and I think it may take him a couple years to really get going. I could see him having some good things happen out of the gate, but when he really rounds into his top form, I think it'll be after a couple years, so I'll go 3rd year.
And the truth shall set you free.
Fun show today. If you missed Schefter talking all things NFL, Jake Burns talking Brownies, and the Blue Jackets GM Don Waddell talking about his offseason and a lot more. And by the way, 23 homes is crazy. The man's brought 23 cribs.
Awesome.
That's impressive. Wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Those interviews and a lot more will be waiting for you. And subscribe to the old Rothman and Ice podcast as well.
Including on today's show, the Deshaun Foster introduction at Big Ten meetings.
Yeah, you'll want to hear that. If you're a fan of secondhand embarrassment, go find that clip.
All right. We'll have more Hall of Fame game tickets to give out tomorrow. Join us then. Common Man and T-Bone will take you through the afternoon. Keep it locked here right on the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan. This is a Fan Action Update.
Big Ten Action Update. The Oregon Ducks have the second best odds to win the Big Ten this year at 2-1. Oregon has the third best odds to win the national championship at 8-1. And the Ducks season win totals at 10.5 games. Oregon's non-conference schedule includes games against Idaho, Boise State, and Oregon State. And Oregon is minus 280 to make the 12-team college football playoff. For your Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things that you love? Bone-on-bone pain in your knee? Arthritic pain like I was having in my knee? Maybe your hip, your back, your shoulder? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that you can get lasting relief from. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day here in Columbus, led by Dr. Ray Tesner. I'm talking about cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Listen, my dad was having knee pain. I was having knee pain. So we went over to QC Kinetics, and they were able to help us out. And 2 years out, I'm still feeling good. My dad can still move around. So learn how QC Kinetics can treat pain and enhance your joints and restore your mobility and give you long-term lasting relief with no downtime. So check them out. Go to 380-208-4544 or head to one of their offices in Dublin, Gahanna, or now the new one that's most recently opened in Grove City.
The summer sell-down is on at Performance Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Save thousands with bonus cash on select inventory. Plus, get another $2,500 off any new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram with your trade. One Performance, 2 locations, Georgesville and Delaware.
Trade value based on KBB, comparable, 2010 model renewal, and price of $5,000.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let
let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call